All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Multifamily Master Plan. This is Julian Gordon here. In chat, please let me know that you can see me and hear me. In chat, please confirm that you can see me and hear me. What's going on, folks are coming on in. Good to have you here. Welcome. Hey, Norma, Sophia, Becky, Lady, Nefertiti, Melvin, Ashley, Humroy, Lourdes, Jay, Kendall, Daniel, Nelly. Good, cool. So I'm glad the technology gods are working in our favor this evening. Glad to have you here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. And when you can see it, please let me know. I might pop off camera once I share that screen. But answer the question on the screen. So I want to know, what market are you looking to buy in? I want everybody to give a roll call. Where you from? Where you from? Oakland. I'm actually from Oakland, so I can actually say that. Where's everybody from? Where are you looking to buy? Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Cincinnati. Don't give me states. Give me cities or counties, okay? Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Brooklyn, Jacksonville, Queens, Syracuse, Sacramento, Louisville, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Jefferson County, Orlando, Florida, Dallas, Sacramento again, Stratford, Baton Rouge. Some of y'all know about the Buyback Baton Rouge Fund that I developed, Charlotte, DC, St. Louis. We got people from all over. New Orleans, that's where I'm at, y'all. What's going on, Milton? I see you. Milton in New Orleans. Beautiful. Okay, so we got people from all over. So with that, I want to share a tool that I created for you, and it's a little worksheet. I created for you. I'm posting it in the chat, and this is a worksheet, a fill in the blank worksheet that you can print out and download really quick to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the gems and the jewels that I drop on this webinar. Okay, so go ahead and print that out if you have a printer. If not, just pull it up, but you do not need it. If you don't have a printer, go ahead and get a pen and paper, because you're going to want to take notes. Go ahead and get a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. I'm going to give you a lot of game tonight. So you want to make sure that you have a pen and paper. This is not just a kickback, relax Netflix webinar. You want to go get a pen and paper so that you can take notes. All right. So let me know when you're ready. How many of you got the worksheet? It's a fill in the blank. Make sure that you don't miss out on the major gems. All right. Cool. Printing it now. I see you. Cool. If you don't have a printer, say I got pen and paper. Type pen and paper if you got pen and paper. It's all good. Ink is expensive these days. All right, cool. All right, so we got a little bit of both. Good. So let's get into it. I want to welcome you all to the Multifamily Master Plan, how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and start living for free. Literally, I'm going to show you how to start living for free. My name is Julian Gordon. I'm creator of the Multifamily Movement, and I'm excited to have you here. Now, of course, there has been a global pandemic going on, so tonight we're going to get a little bit of a special edition called the coronavirus edition. I'm going to share with you how coronavirus is impacting the real estate market and how it can actually help you get into the game. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julian Gordon. I'm also known as Mr. Multifamily. My purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. As you know, Harriet Tubman was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad, and she freed 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line over the course of a decade. I think of multifamily real estate as the above ground railroad. It is literally right there in front of our eyes, above ground, and it is a guaranteed pathway to freedom if you follow the blueprint that I lay out for you on this webinar. Now, my real estate results include building a $4.1 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes with 30 apartments. Apartments are also known as units or doors that generate $36,000 per month in rent in just 6 years. And I did that all on the side. This was not my original business. My original business was being a speaker. I traveled all over the country to speak at colleges and corporations. I no longer do that, in part because my real estate portfolio has expanded so much and I don't have to anymore. And obviously with COVID, that has changed the nature of that business. My real estate portfolio returns 13.83% annually. The S&P 500, for those of you who have your money in the stock market, the S&P 500 has only returned 4.23% annually on average over the past 20 years. So a lot of people think that the stock market just goes up 10% every single year, and it's absolutely not true. The S&P 500 is one of the major indexes. I ran the numbers; they are right here. You can verify them. The S&P 500 has only gone up 4.23% annually over the past 20 years. Now, how many of you took hits in the stock market over the past 6 to 9 months? Hopefully, you've recovered, but even still, you had no control over what occurred there. How many took hits in the stock market? I see some hands raising. I did. Good. Well, I hope a lot of people are bouncing back. But again, the stock market gives you very little control. There are CEOs and employees out there who are making decisions, and investors out there who are making decisions and causing your hard-earned money to fluctuate in ways that you can't control. So we want to get more control over that. All right. I raised $3 million for the Buyback Baton Rouge Fund to develop 184 multifamily units out there. I'm founder of the Multifamily Movement, where I'm helping thousands of students achieve rent and mortgage freedom through multifamily real estate. And I want to be very clear, y'all. I am not a licensed real estate agent. I am not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either in order to be in multifamily real estate. That is a common myth that you need a license. There is no license required to be in multifamily real estate. All right. So with that, let's keep it pushing. I'm going to be very transparent with you on this webinar. I'm going to really show you the nuts and the bolts. And these are actually my properties, right? These are the 10 properties that I control at this moment in time. The first one was in Brooklyn in 2013. That was the property that got me to rent and mortgage freedom. I lived in the owner's unit on the ground floor. I rented out the other 2 units, and those other 2 units paid my principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, vacancy rate, and left me with positive cash flow on top of that. Then after another 4 years, I bought in New Orleans, and I moved down here. Actually, I bought in New Orleans and in Oakland while living in Brooklyn. So for those of you who need to invest from a distance because your market is extremely expensive or whatnot, you can find a smaller, less expensive market. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay. Some people saying that they can't hear me. Can you all hear me? Okay. Simona said yes. All right. If you can't hear me, I'm not sure because you can't even hear what I'm saying right now, but it looks like most people can hear me. Now, somebody said I'm talking fast. So the reason I'm talking fast is because we have a short amount of time and I have a lot to cover. So I want to get through it to make sure that you get everything that you need to move forward on investing in multifamily real estate. It's obviously a weeknight, and I want to honor and respect your time. All right. So with that, let's keep it pushing. I've sold couple of my properties. They were duplexes, but I sold them only to upgrade into fourplexes. All right. Then in 2019 alone, I bought 7 properties with 25 apartments in 1 year alone. Okay. So again, my real estate portfolio is 30 apartments, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 in monthly rents, and $4.1 million in value. So guess what? Today for me, December 1st, has been a very good day, right? Most people wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Most people don't want that, right? Why? Because they end up paying money out of their pockets on the first of the month. Guess what? For me, I collect money on the first of the month. So this is what I want for you, and this is what I'm trying to show you on the webinar. Now, I have not only been able to do this for myself, I've been able to do it for countless others. These are not stock images. These are my actual students. That's the Rowe family. That's Jackie Hall Cooper. That's Aisha and Darren. That's Karen and Jamel. That's Alan in Baltimore. That's Tyler and Olivia. That's Morgan. And that's the Campbell family. So these are actual families that I've helped get to the closing room through what I'm going to share with you on the webinar. All right. Now, I'm going to show you exactly the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate real estate deals in less than 10 minutes so that you can make an offer before anyone else. And the multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets and neighborhoods and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation. And the multifamily mindset, how to think like real estate investors when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. See, a lot of people think that they can just go to YouTube and blogs and podcasts and get the information, and all that information is out there. Right. But what really blocks people from making moves in multifamily real estate is their mindset, their understanding of money and how it works, their understanding of debt. And so on this webinar, we're going to cover a lot of mindset because I want you to know that I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. I own my mental real estate, okay? The land that's up here, the soil of my mind, my subconscious mind, I own that before I own any physical real estate. So I can give you all the tools and tactics, but if you still don't have the right mindset, then you will never act on them, okay? So my big promise is to give you a proven path to rent and mortgage freedom, all right? So I see some questions coming up in chat already. Um, I'm going to answer a lot of your questions through the presentation. I spent a lot of time preparing this presentation for you. All right. So I'm going to answer a lot of your questions. Can we hold questions until the end? I promise I'll do a Q&A at the end to answer any questions that don't get answered by the presentation. Does that sound cool? I'm going to answer a lot of your questions through the presentation. All right. I'm happy to stay after and do a Q&A to answer any questions, outstanding questions. Is that all right? Because if I try to stop and answer your questions while I'm going through it, we're going to be on for a long time because there's a lot to know and a lot to understand. All right, cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So let's talk about rent and mortgage freedom and what it means. Rent and mortgage freedom is a result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. It's the result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. So for most people, their housing expense, whether it is rent or mortgage expense, takes up about 1/3 of all the money that they bring into their household every single month, right? So imagine with one single decision to buy a piece of multifamily real estate, you immediately get to rent and mortgage freedom. I have not found one other decision that's going to have that much impact on the financial future of you and your family than perhaps who you decide to marry. Besides that, this is the key decision, all right? And imagine if you got to rent and mortgage freedom. And in fact, in chat, let me know what would happen for you if you never had to pay a housing expense ever again. Because I haven't paid one since 2013. The moment I bought that property in Brooklyn, I have not paid a housing expense. In chat, let me know what would change for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life. Somebody said, I take over the world, travel, another blessing, sleep better, do fun things. We be balling, working on myself, save money, freedom. Some of y'all don't want to, nobody want to spend time with their family. You've been quarantined with your family, realize you don't love the people that you live with. You're trying to travel by yourself. You're trying to get away. No, I'm joking with you. I know you love your family and you're here because you're trying to build generational wealth. All right. Some of you play golf, pursue my purpose, entrepreneurship, right? Follow my passion, quit my job, right? So this is the power of what I'm teaching you. If we can literally just get your rent or mortgage expense off the books and free you up and just give you that much more breathing room, a lot of your lives would just multiply in terms of the joy and the abundance that you would be able to experience. So that is the focus. Now, of course, we are in the midst of a global pandemic, so we need to ask the question, what about that Rona though? Black people, we like to put a nickname on everything, so we don't even call it coronavirus anymore. It's, what about that Rona though? Okay, so let's talk about coronavirus and its actual impact on the real estate industry. So first and foremost, what happens in the midst of a recession is that housing prices drop temporarily. Okay, these gray bars represent the last few recessions, and you'll notice in the last recession, 2009, 2010, the average single family home dropped to $208,000. Okay, this dip right here. Now, if you would have bought at $208,000 while everyone else was scared, guess what? That same house is worth $324,000 now. So you would literally be up 116 racks if you would have bought while everyone else was afraid. So housing prices will literally drop in the midst of a recession. A lot of people are going to come out of forbearance. A lot of people went into forbearance during Corona, and those forbearance periods are coming to an end, and they're still in the financial predicament that they're in. And so they're going to have to sell their properties or get foreclosed on. There's also a foreclosure moratorium that ends at the end of the year. Okay, so once that foreclosure moratorium ends, there you're going to see a lot of properties go on sale at discount, and this is what I'm trying to prepare you to get ready for. Okay, so you can take advantage of that discounted pricing. Now, the other thing about recessions is that guess what? Rents go up. Rents go up in the midst of recession. That doesn't seem to make sense. These are the last two recessions. This blue line represents the average rent, and you can see that rents go up in the midst of a recession. How does that make any sense, Julian? People are losing their jobs. I don't get it. It's basic economics. In every single market, there are permanent renters, there are renters who are looking to buy soon, and then there's single family buyers, right? Those single family buyers were trying to keep up with the Joneses. They bought a 5-bedroom house for a 4-piece family that only needed 3 bedrooms. Why? Because grandma's coming over for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Grandma's literally only there for 7 days out of the entire year, and they bought all the extra home just so that they could host grandma, okay? So now one of them loses their job, and this is what happens. They either have to sell that house at discount or they get foreclosed on, right? Because they were trying to keep up with the Joneses and they bought more than they needed. And when they get foreclosed on, they still need a place to live. So what happens, y'all? They become renters. So when the demand for rental units goes up and the number of rental units does not change, what happens to price, y'all? When demand for rental units goes up, but supply does not change, what happens to price? It's basic economics. Price goes up, y'all. This is why prices go up in the midst of an economic recession, okay? This is why rents go up, all right? On top of that, the third benefit of coronavirus for you is that mortgage interest rates are at an all-time historic low. I literally have students who are closing at 2.25% interest. That is basically free money. If inflation is 3% and you're borrowing money at 2.25%, you're basically getting free money, okay? Interest rates have never been this low. And so now you get to lock in that rate for 30 years. That's absolutely amazing. That means more cash flow for you, all right? So this is why coronavirus is putting you in great position. Now, if you do not move on this opportunity right here and right now in this 3-month window that is going to present itself, your rents will continue to rise, which makes it harder for you to save. And then the prices of housing will start to go back up, which makes it harder for you to buy. All right. And so if you do not take action, you may never, ever own a piece of multifamily real estate. And I'm not even saying that jokingly, because why? The gap between the rich and the poor, we know it exists, right? And right now, or before these times, right? If you did some of the right things, like went to the right schools, got the right job, met the right people, et cetera, you could get from one side to the other, right? But that gap is getting wider and wider and wider. And there's going to be a point that if you were born on this side of the tracks, no matter what you do, it will be almost impossible to get to the other side. And I'm trying to get you across to the other side before the gap is too wide for you to cross. Okay. And one of the keys to that is making sure you have an asset that is putting money into your pocket every single month. And that asset that we're focused on is multifamily real estate. Okay. And so why this business model? Multifamily real estate is the #1 subscription model of all time, better than Amazon Prime, better than Netflix. Okay. It has been here since the feudal system in 900 AD. In the feudal system, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlord comes from, y'all? It comes from the feudal system. This business model that I'm teaching you is 1,100 years old. I cannot guarantee you that Amazon, Apple, or Google will be around 1,100 years from now. But as long as there are human beings on the face of this earth, then guess what? There will be a need for housing, and multifamily real estate will be even more valuable then. Okay? So this is why we are focused on this particular business model. Now, when I'm talking about multifamily real estate, what exactly am I talking about? I'm not talking about those 60-unit buildings that you see when you're driving down the freeway. That's not the focus, okay? We are talking about 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes. Those are also known as duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, okay? There's only 2.4 million of them in the entire United States, and they only make up 18% of the entire rental supply. So we're looking for a very specific, unique asset, right? Now, why is this particular asset so powerful? Is because it's the same documents that you would send to your lender to buy a single family home are the same documents that you would use for a 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family home. No difference whatsoever in documents, no difference in lender. Once you get to 5 units or more, that becomes a commercial property. That's a different lending process, okay? But for 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes, it's the same exact documents. And if you buy a 3-family or 4-family home in the right way, you can get to rent and mortgage freedom with your first property, okay? So this is why we're looking for this specific asset. Now, all right, is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? Type clear. Perfect. All right. So this webinar is for you if you are a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rents monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. This is for you if you're committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you always working for it. And this is for you if you're willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee long-term financial gains and freedom. Okay? Now, before I go forward, I want to ask for your permission real quick. If I promise to give you some great content on this webinar, do I have 10 minutes? Can I take 10 minutes at the end to share an opportunity with you all to consider? For those of you who are serious and want to accelerate your process in making this happen, please let me know in chat. Just simply type yes if that's a green light. Again, I'm going to give you plenty of game on this webinar, and you're going to have enough to take action on. But if you realize that you need help and you want to accelerate your process, then I would love to share an opportunity for you to all to consider so I can help you. All right, cool. Thank you so much. So with that, everyone who stays to the end, I'm going to give you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. This is my way of saying thank you for being here, for showing up. You are giving me your most valuable asset right now, which is your attention and your time, right? It is more valuable than money. And so in order to say thank you, I'm going to give you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. Some of them are free grant programs, $5,000 toward your closing costs. Some of them, if you take a landlord class, they'll wrap your closing costs into the loan. So go ahead and stay to the end. The webinar technology will let me know who stayed to the end, and I'll send that out via email tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna repeat, I'm gonna send that out via email tomorrow based on who stays till the end. All right. So with that, let's move forward. How many of y'all have been on some boring webinars before? How many have been on some boring webinars before? All right, cool. So this webinar is going to be different. If you can't already tell, it's going to be fun, entertaining. It's going to be some tough love, but I'm going to open it up a little bit differently. You probably never heard a poem on a webinar before. I'm about to drop some poetry on you. I understand multifamily real estate in so much depth that I can take the vocabulary and wrap it into rhyme for you to make sure that you understand. A lot of us are homeschooling kids right now, and the way kids learn is they learn through song and rhyme. And in terms of wealth consciousness, there's a lot that you still have to learn, right? And so because I'm committed to your success, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And that even means getting on this webinar and rapping for y'all. Okay. So let's get it in. Mary, if y'all are real people, what's today's date? Today's date is December 1st. I just told y'all I collected rent. I just told y'all I collected rent. Come on, y'all. Are you serious right now? Let's get it in, y'all. Whether this was recorded or not, I mean, we fully live. It's December 1st, 2020. Whether this was recorded or not, would it matter? Is game, whether if I'm giving you timeless information, why does the time matter, y'all? Like, let's just stay focused on what really matters. Y'all with me? If I'm giving you timeless information, does it matter? Y'all, some of y'all still read the Bible. Why? Because it got timeless information in it. Does it matter if it wasn't written yesterday? Come on, y'all. Like, let's stay focused. All right, let's stay focused. Mary, come on. Mary, I'm glad you're here, but come on, y'all. Let's get it in. Game is game. Game recognized game. Let's get it in, y'all. So let me drop this poem on you, okay? It's called the Multifamily Poem. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is up. Thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant, yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure. Because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins a race. It's the man with his soul who could look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments in a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the Lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for? Your first or your last name? Boom. Financial bars. All right. That's how much I care about you getting this information and understanding the power of ownership. I'm over here rapping on a webinar. I'm not a rapper, y'all. Thought I told y'all I'm not a rapper. Can I live? Can I live? All right, cool. So the reality is that every line in this poem has financial consciousness and wealth consciousness baked into it. But at your stage in the journey, you may not understand everything I said. You've been taught forever that cash is king. Cash is not king, y'all. Cash is actually pawn. Do you realize that cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world? I'm gonna repeat. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. And that's what you've been chasing. Okay. Your money in the bank account, savings account yields 0.03% interest. At 0.03% interest, you take the rule of 72, 72 divided by 0.03, it will take you 2,400 years to double your money in a bank account. You cannot save your way to wealth. The only way to get there is to invest. Okay. So that's just one line in the poem. And so this is what I'm trying to get across to you. You have to invest and you have to own assets. It is the only way. And the safest way and the safest asset that you can control and that will provide you with housing is multifamily real estate. Are y'all with me with that? Y'all understand? Cool. On top of that, for those of you working on the corporate plantation, you realize that cash is literally 75% cotton. So y'all out here still picking cotton. Did you know that you were still picking cotton? The US dollar is 75% cotton, y'all. It's just called modern day slavery. It's just adapted. It ain't gone nowhere. And now it's no longer about race. They don't care who they oppress. That's why 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not a racial thing, right? It's a class thing, y'all. It doesn't matter what color you are. Modern day slavery is not about race. It's about class. It's about the powers that be keeping, quote unquote, the little people down. We trying to rise up, y'all. No, we're not trying to. We are. Y'all with me on that? Cool. So let's get it in. Myth number one is that I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I told you I was going to focus on mindset. When you use the word I can't, you literally turn off your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind processes information at 40 million bits per second. Your conscious mind, when you're awake, only processes information at 40 bits per second. So your subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than your subconscious mind. When the conscious mind says I can't, it turns off the subconscious mind. You literally turn off all your horsepower. You allow your limiting beliefs to stop you from moving forward. What keeps you breathing at night when your conscious mind is asleep? It's your subconscious mind. What tells you it's time to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? It's your subconscious mind. What wakes you up with $1 million business idea at 3 a.m.? That is your subconscious mind. So you never want to say, I can't afford something. Instead, you want to pose a question to the subconscious mind, which is, how can I afford it? When you pose a question to the subconscious mind, then guess what? It will seek the answer 24/7 until it finds it, even while you are sleeping. Okay? So never say I can't. Instead, pose a question, how can I afford it? All right? So let me just share with you my story. That first property in Brooklyn, when did I buy it, y'all? When did I buy it? People listening, 2013. Well, guess what, y'all? Right here is my actual W-2 from 2012. And in 2012, I only made $36,000. This was the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that property in Brooklyn, New York. You do not need lots of money to get started in real estate, okay? I got started when I wasn't making a lot of money. I got started in New York City, the most expensive market in the world. I got started while I was an entrepreneur, and I got started within 3 years of an economic recession, y'all. This is my actual W-2. If I move this black box here, you would see my social security number, y'all. Okay? So I'm showing you that this is a limiting belief that you may have had that stopped you from getting in the game, all right? Let me share with you why multifamily is so powerful. If you go try to get qualified for a single family with $40,000 in W-2 income, which they call ordinary income, we don't want ordinary income. We want extraordinary income, okay? So you go get qualified for $40,000 on a single family home, that's what they'll use. Watch this for multifamily, y'all. Watch what happens. When you're buying a multifamily home, and this is actually a home that I control here in New Orleans, it's a fourplex, okay? Collected rents from all the units today, right? The bank will take 75% of rent and add that to your W-2 income and then qualify you for the loan. So this property, let's say each unit is actually, it yields $5,000 a month in rents, but let's say each unit, just for easy math, is $4,000. 75% of $4,000 is $3,000. You multiply that by 12 months, that's $36,000. So they'll take my $40,000 in W-2 income, they'll add $36,000 to it and qualify me based on $76,000 in income, not 40. So I just qualified for twice as much real estate because I'm buying a multifamily as opposed to buying a single family. Did y'all catch that? Type cot or something. Y'all get it? So the rents in the property in Brooklyn were going to yield so much that they qualify, even though I only made $35,000, they qualified me for a lot more because of the rents that I was going to get from the second and third floor. All right. So this is the name of the game. Now, how many of you have been pre-approved? Type pre-approved if you've been pre-approved. Type no if you have not. Okay. It's a lot of no's right now. So listen to me, y'all. All of you who are typing no right now, you have literally taken yourself out of the game. You are sitting on the sidelines while everybody else is playing. It is your own limiting beliefs that stopped you from going to get pre-approved. Not racism, not sexism. There's no other reason except you didn't think you could afford it. That's on you. This is why you have to get out of your own way, right? And stop letting limiting beliefs stop you from getting in the game. So my homework for all of you out there who have not been pre-approved is go get pre-approved within the next 3 days. It costs you absolutely nothing. All you have to do is submit some documents to the lender, and they will come back and tell you, based on your credit, your cash, and your cash flow, what they will approve you for. Now, some of you may know you have some holes in your application. It doesn't matter. In the next 72 hours, go get pre-approved and just see what the lender will lend you. One of my students thought that he would only get pre-approved for $300,000, right? And that wasn't going to be enough to buy multifamily in his market. When he finally went through the process, he got pre-approved for $500,000, which was more than enough to buy multifamily in his market. He was letting his own limiting beliefs stop him from moving forward. Go let the lender tell you what they'll approve you for. You don't decide that. So everybody's homework here is to go get pre-approved within the next 72 hours at the bank that you have your checking or savings account at. Okay. I'm not asking you to research banks and things of that nature. Don't worry about that. We're just trying to see I just want you to get a feel for what a lender would lend you based on where you are, because it is more than you think. All right. I see. What about the hard pull? Look, when you're shopping for loans, you can have 5 hard pulls in 30 days and it will not have a negative impact on your credit score. Some of y'all are trying to keep these perfect credit scores, but the purpose of credit is to leverage it, not just to look at it. The purpose of credit is to leverage the credit, not just to look at it. Oh, look at me and my 800 something score. And you never used it. Come on, y'all. So go get pre-approved. All right. So let's look at the multifamily monthly payment. If the average two bedroom home in the United States, renting it costs $1,225 per month. Okay. The average single family home in the United States, to get a mortgage on it, would be $1,199. So it's literally less to own than it is to rent. But of course, this webinar is not talking about single family homes, right? This is somebody who was on a webinar before, and she said, Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything, and if he does, it is used. Okay? So first and foremost, red alert. This individual used the fact that she is a single working mom as her excuse. Guess what? All of us use excuses. We take whatever our area of weakness or vulnerability is, and we use that as our crutch for why we aren't achieving what we desire to achieve. Oh, I grew up in a single parent home. I didn't graduate from high school. I didn't graduate from college. I didn't get into a top college. I got fired from my job. I'm divorced. I got ADD, this and that. We use whatever our point of weakness is, we use that as our excuse. Here's how you know your excuse is invalid. Are there single working moms out there who own multifamily real estate? Yes or no? Yes or no? That means the excuse that this individual is using is invalid. And if I can go find 3 people who own multifamily real estate using the same excuse that you are using, then we know that your excuse is not valid either. Okay. Now, this individual is paying $1,200 a month for rent for 9 years. How long does the lease last, y'all? How long does a lease last? 12 months. So if this is really a bad situation, couldn't this individual have got on apartments.com and found another apartment over the past 9 years instead of paying this slumlord? Yes. So this individual is in victim consciousness. They're in victim mode, right? And so while they may complain, they're actually not going to do any change. So now let's just look at the numbers. $1,200 a month for 9 years is $129,000 that this individual has paid a slumlord who does not care about her, her family, or her culture. How are we going to close any wealth gap? How are we going to come up when we're readily and happily giving out $130,000 to people who don't like you, people who actually hate you? If I ask some of you to calculate how much you've been paying in rent since you've been quote unquote living on your own, it'd make some of you sick. See, we think that living on our own is being responsible. It's actually being financially stupid. I had a roommate until I owned. I had a roommate until I owned. In fact, I had 10 multifamily doors before I had a new 4-door car. Some of y'all had nicer cars than me. I was driving a 2000 Honda Accord till the year 2018, y'all, in order to build this portfolio that you see here, in order to set myself free. So I'm just letting you know what it takes, okay? So real quick, let me know in chat how much you pay in rent. Rent or mortgage, type 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. Let me know in chat. 777 rent, 1,800 rent, 940 rent, 1,000, 1,200 rent, 1,000 rent, 1,120 rent, 300 rent. Wow, Tunisia. 1,900 rent, 1,500 rent, 860 rent, 1056 mortgage, 1,488, 1,336 rent. Okay, stop. Y'all making me sick, y'all. Watch this. Let me just run some numbers for you. Based on the number of people on this webinar, let me calculate how much rent or mortgage expense we give out collectively. There are this many people on the webinar, and let's just say 1,200 on average, okay, times 12 months. Us on this webinar alone, look at this. $8.6 million we've given out in rent or mortgage expense this year. $8.6 million that we have collectively paid in rent or mortgage expense. Just us on this webinar. We got to change that, y'all. We got to change that, okay? And that's without interest, okay? So watch this. If instead of you paying somebody else rent or mortgage expense every single year, every single month, right? If you could keep that $1,000 and invest it at 6% over the next 40 years, do you know how much money you would have? If you could keep that $1,000 every single month and just invest it at a conservative 5-6% for the next 40 years, you would all be millionaires, y'all. $1,000 a month invested at 6%, which is very conservative, for the next 40 years would be $1 million. I'm literally showing you a proven path to you becoming a millionaire. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is get-rich guaranteed over time. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is get-rich guaranteed over time. Some of y'all got caught up in multi-level marketing. Why? Because it was get rich quick. How many of y'all got, type me if you got caught up in multi-level marketing. Type me. I did too. 2x2.net. Anybody know 2x2.net? They promise you residual income and Lamborghinis and all kinds of stuff that only the people at the top of the pyramid were getting. Some of y'all got caught up in these giving flowers or giving pods that they were calling asusus, but are really not asusus, because you were looking to get rich quick. You were looking to get something for nothing. This is not how wealth works, y'all. It's a long-term game. It's get rich guaranteed over time. You have to play the long game, all right? So with that, moving forward, and some of y'all are like, oh, Julian, I don't have 40 years. Look, if you don't have 40 years, you feel like you only have 20 years left on this earth, then stop being selfish. How about you get the baton 20 years down the road so that the next generation could pick it up at the 20-year line instead of 0, and every generation just starting over and over and over at 0. How about you help the next generation get a head start? Okay, that is true love. That is true love. My daughter, she's 6 right now. At the age of 35, if I stop buying any more real estate right now and just kept the portfolio that you've seen, at the age of 35, she will have $25,000 in passive income every single month for the rest of her life because of the sacrifices I made in the past 6-7 years. I'm going to repeat. she will have $25,000 in passive income for the rest of her life because of the sacrifices I made in the past 6-7 years. That is true love. Not these Black Friday deals, not a PlayStation 5, not some Jordans, not some new clothes, not some new phone. That is not love, y'all. Love is putting the next generation in a better position than you inherited. And the hardest part of generational wealth is being the first generation to create it. And if you don't do it, then you're just kicking the can down the road, hoping that the next generation does. When you are in position right now to make a change for your entire family's name. All right? So let's get it in, y'all. I told you we're going to have fun. I'm going to do poems, but there's going to be some tough love. And I got some more tough love for you right now. Everybody here who's renting, I need you to be 100% aware and become very present to the fact that you are homeless. You are homeless. Yep. See, subconsciously, you've been calling it my apartment. You've been calling it my house, and it's really not. It's really not. You're not on the title. You're not on the deed. That's Sally's house. That's Tommy's house that you've been renting from for the past however many years, and you've been paying their mortgage, right? See, when you moved in, you thought then that you were going to be renting temporarily to position yourself for ownership, but somehow you slipped into renter's consciousness, okay? And when you moved in, what you should have done, you should have kept all your stuff in the boxes, but instead you started unpacking and getting very comfortable, right? When I travel, I don't unpack my luggage. I live out of the luggage. Why would I unpack and start hanging stuff up and putting my shoes in the closet and things like that? Why would I unpack in a place that I'm only going to be temporarily? But you got comfortable. You started buying furniture for certain nooks and angles, putting art, painting walls, mowing the lawn, sweeping the front. People in the neighborhood think you own the property, but you don't. Okay? And so my prayer is that this is the last Thanksgiving you ever have in that apartment or that house. All the Thanksgiving stuff, the turkey baster, all that stuff, I want you to box it up and I want you to double duct tape it because you will not need it again at that apartment. I want you to double duct tape that box with all the Thanksgiving stuff because this will be your last Thanksgiving in that property. That's on everything. So here's the deal. This homeless man probably been through some physical trauma, mental trauma, drug abuse, probably has no family, no ID, no place to live, only one set of clothes, no education, no job, no source of income whatsoever. And how is it that this homeless individual has as many keys to a property as you do? Zero. Here you are with a good head on your shoulders, clothes, warmth, food in your fridge. You got the internet, you got $1,000 phone, you got a nice little laptop or computer that you're watching this on, you got the internet. Here you are with all these advantages over this person who's actually homeless, yet they own as many properties as you do, and you've been working for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. How does that make any sense whatsoever? So I need you to get really present to the fact that you are actually homeless. And I'm only doing that to trigger your subconscious mind to recognize that, oh, we need a place to live. He's been lying or she's been lying to me by calling this our home. It is not. I look around here, I do not own this. I am borrowing this. I am renting this. We need to go get a home. All right? Cool. Now, for the single family buyers who are here, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. You realize the word mortgage, mort as in mortician, as in mortuary, the word mortgage literally means death pledge. All the single family buyers who are here, most of you literally signed a death pledge and you were happy about it. And you posted a picture on Instagram of you closing and signing a death pledge. I'm just keeping it real with you. So let's look at that transaction if you don't feel it was so. I want to break it down to you. I'm sorry nobody told you this, but many of you have stepped into the American nightmare. Go to college, get debt. Go get a single family home. Now you have a mortgage, right? Get a single good job. Now you only have one stream of income. And that takes up all your time, right? That's the American nightmare, not the American dream. So let me break down what a single family purchase transaction really looks like, because HGTV will have you fooled. HGTV, they show somebody getting a home and say, congratulations, you're a homeowner. They are lying, y'all. At that moment in time, you are not a homeowner. You are a home buyer. The bank owns 3.5, the bank owns 96.5% of your home. You only own 3.5%. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now stop me when I'm lying, y'all. So you thought that when you bought a single family home, look at me, I'm not paying rent anymore. Watch this. Here's the real transaction. If you're a single family buyer, the truth is that the bank buys your home, right? And then it rents it to you for 30 years. See, you're not paying rent to a landlord, you're paying rent to the bank to use their money. You know what that's called? That's called interest. You are still paying rent. It is just not to a landlord, it is to the bank. The interest on a $300,000 home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. You divide that by 360 months, okay? All you single family buyers, you're paying $578 per month to the bank in rent. You bought yourself a home and you bought your lender a home. And that is not including private mortgage insurance, property taxes, or your homeowner's insurance or any maintenance. In fact, some of you bought single family homes, you have more money going out of your household every single month due to your housing than somebody who's renting the same square footage across the street from you. I know this sounds crazy, but it's just numbers. Numbers don't lie. Okay? So I just want to make you present to that, right? So for the single family buyers right now, on top of that, your first mortgage payment, single family buyers, your first mortgage payment, what percentage went to principal and what percentage went to interest? Let me know. Hopefully you know. What percentage went to interest and what percentage went to principal on your first mortgage payment? There you go. Scott got it about right. 70% went to interest and only 30% went to principal. It's a cold game, y'all. You thought that 4% interest rate, that looks low. It's trickery. It's compounded. All right? So, single family buyers, you are not stuck. You are not trapped. Okay? I want you to type 6-5. Single family buyers, type 6-5. Type 6-5. Okay? The reason I'm having you type that, there are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. There's 5 ways to use FHA twice. Okay? We'll cover some of them on the webinar. Right? So you're not trapped. Now, for the single family buyers that are here, please type messed up if you feel you messed up. Okay? And I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this to educate all the renters who are here to make sure that they do not go down your path. So single family buyers, please type messed up if you feel you messed up. Some of you may not feel that way. All right, renters, are you seeing this? Renters, let me know. Are you seeing this right now? You have hundreds of single family buyers telling you do not follow in my footsteps. So if you choose to go down that path, you cannot say nobody told me so. Okay? So obviously, if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home. That's not what we're here for. If you don't want to pay rent or mortgage ever, you can simply own a multifamily home. It's that simple, y'all. It's really that simple. So the down payment, a lot of y'all think that you can't make the down payment. With 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, I can see why. But I'm going to erase that excuse from you right now. All right. Did you know that there's a program out there with no down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, and no credit score consideration that you can access right now? Do you know that? These are not stock images. These are people that I actually know. That's Mark, he owns a duplex in Inglewood. That's the Roll family, they own a fourplex in Los Angeles. And that's the Felix family, they own a duplex in Brooklyn, New York. You see, your intellectual property, what you know, can get you actual physical property. Your intellectual property can actually get you physical property. Some of y'all simply just don't know enough. This program is called NACA.com. NACA.com. No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration, below market 30-year and 15-year fixed interest rates. So that excuse that you had running in your head that you can't afford it, I've literally just wiped that excuse clean. You can't use it anymore because I've given you a pathway to get financed right here, NACA.com. Right? Now, for those of you who choose not to use NACA, there's another program out there which is very competitive and competitive in a good way in terms of its accessibility. That's a better word, is the government's FHA program. Okay. The government's FHA program is only 3.5% down. 3.5% down. So if this is a duplex that I control here in New Orleans, if you would want to buy this property at $300,000, you literally only need $10,500 in order to take control of this property. Notice I did not say own the property. We control properties until the mortgage is paid off. We control properties until the mortgage is paid off. Okay. We want to be very specific in our language. Does that make sense? Did you understand you heard my language? I control all 10 of those properties. And because I control them, I get to take advantage of the rent, the tax savings, the appreciation, and all of that while it's under my control. I don't own it until the mortgage is paid off. Good. Y'all are getting it. All right. So let me show you why we buy multifamily first. If you use your FHA or NACA loan on your single family, you put 3.5% on a $100,000 home, that's $3,500 down payment. Okay. Disregard the price of the home, just look at it for the math. And then you come to this webinar, you say, I want to buy a multifamily now. What little did people know is that their next property, right, unless it's owner occupied, is going to be 25% down. So 25% down on a $300,000 property is $75,000. You add up those two down payments, that's $78,000. Now watch this, y'all. If you literally just reverse the process, watch what happens to the down payment total. If you use a 3.5% down on the $300,000 multifamily first, that's only $10,500. And then after living there for 1 year, which is the FHA requirement, then you put 20 to 25% down on your single family that you desire, and you add up those down payments, that's only $35,000 down payment. So it's literally twice as easy to buy multifamily first and then single family than it is to buy single family and then multifamily. Does this make sense? Please type clear. Please type clear. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Somebody said crystal clear. All right. Now, again, for the single family buyers, 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation, 5 ways to use FHA twice. It's going to be like a bow and arrow, y'all. We're going to have to go backwards a little bit in order to go forwards. For the single family buyers, we're going to have to go backwards a little bit in order to go forwards a lot. All right. Cool. So for those of you who came in late, this is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control. All right. I own property in Brooklyn, Oakland, and 8 in New Orleans, couple in Baton Rouge, right? So my portfolio is continuing to expand, all right? So let me show you the first play that we're seeking to run, right? The first play that we're seeking to run is, right now you're renting. Most of you are renting, right? And you're paying $1,000 to this landlord, right? That landlord takes that $1,000 and they pay their $1,500 mortgage to the bank, and they use the other $1,500 in whatever way that they would like, okay? Now, what I'm trying to help you do within the next 3 months is actually go and get a similar property as the one you're renting from. For me, this was the property that I ended up buying. So I moved into the owner's unit. I was getting rents from the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor, $2,000. Okay. So that's $2,000 that came to me. But watch this, y'all. I was no longer paying rent. So that's still an extra $1,000 in my pocket. So now that's $3,000 in my pocket. What do? I take that $3,000, right? And I pay $1,500 mortgage to the bank. And then I keep the other $1,500 while living rent and mortgage free. Now, some of you do not want to have people living above you or sharing walls. You want your single family home with the white picket fence and your nuclear family with your 1 son and your 1 daughter and your dog named Lassie. I know the programming is real. They've been plugging it into your head since you were born, okay? If you want that, that's perfectly fine. Let me show you how to get it. Now, after living here for 1 year, you simply move out, okay, into the single family that you desire, right? You rent the unit that you were in. Now you're getting $3,000 from this building, okay? You also have the $1,000 from no longer paying rent 12 months ago. So that's $4,000. You pay this mortgage of $1,500. You pay this mortgage of $1,500. Now you have a 3 family, the single family you desire, plus $1,000 coming into your household every single month, and you are not paying either mortgage. This is the play that I'm seeking to teach you how to run. Okay, this is it right here. Now it looks simple right here. I've put it all nicely into one slide. The key is making sure that you buy this property right. There's a way to buy wrong. You could pay overpriced for a property. You could pay for a property that is not cash flow. You could pay for a property at the top of the market. Okay. We are focused on buying right. Let me tell you what buying right means. Buying right means that we have built-in equity, meaning that the appraisal value is higher than what we actually paid, that it has definite appreciation potential because of the neighborhood that we bought in, and that the cash flow is at least 12% or greater. This is what it means to buy right. Anybody can go buy a home right now. Does not mean that they bought right. The people who get foreclosed on, they bought wrong. All right. So this is the name of the game, right? So let's look at the multifamily math, right? So if I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Let me know in chat. Would you give up or go get the money? Okay. I see some go-getters here. See some go-getters here. Get that bag. All right. Cool. Y'all go get that money. Perfect. Perfect. So let me show you how to get this ATM machine. Here it is, y'all. Here's my ATM machine, the same duplex that I showed you earlier. Let me show you the exact numbers. $300,000 price, 3.5% down payment. That's $10,500. The rents are $3,200. The mortgage is $1,259. The taxes, insurance are $335. The capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate is $515, and the cash flow on this property is $1,090. This is my ATM machine, y'all. You've been driving by it on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, on the way to drop off your kids at school if they're not quarantined anymore. ATM machines right in front of you. Don't look like the ATM machines at the bank. Don't look like the ATM machines at the bodega. But this is my ATM machine. You just weren't trained to see it. You want to know why? Because you've been taught to look at real estate from an aesthetic standpoint, how it looks. We look at real estate from an economic standpoint. Okay? This is the name of the game. Every single month for the rest of my life, this property will pay me. Okay? So answer me this. What other asset can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days simply by emailing some documents to your lender, have that business immediately cash flow in 30 days, and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. Somebody type drugs. There are none, y'all. This is why this must be the first asset in your family's name. It is the only asset that I know out there that you can actually really live in as well. You cannot live in a stock. You cannot live in $300,000 shares of stock, but you can live in multifamily real estate, and you're going to need housing anyways. Somebody said a church ministry. Y'all out here clowning tonight, okay? So look at this. When you're buying single family real estate, this is a 3-decision game. How much did we get approved for? 400,000. How much is the home? Is 380. Do I like it? Yes or no? 3 decisions when it comes to buying single family home. When it comes to buying multifamily real estate, there are 23 numbers that you must know in order to effectively evaluate a deal. If you miss one single number, you could step into a bad deal. This is a financial model called the Purchase to Pass Deal Analyzer that I've developed and I use to evaluate every single deal that I do. I know exactly where to find all the 23 numbers. I know how to find them quickly. I know what they mean, right? I plug them in, and the deal analyzer in the lower right, it tells me exactly what I should do. I don't make an emotional decision. The financial model tells me whether I should purchase or pass on the property. And if it says all green purchase, then I make an offer within the next 15 minutes. So what I do is I run the numbers, okay? Then I text my agent, this is my offer price. And within 15 to 30 minutes, I have a signed purchase agreement into the seller. This is how you be decisive in real estate. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. You have to know how to play this game, y'all, if you want to land on deals, right? So myth number 2, okay? Myth number 2 is I missed my opportunity. Now, we already addressed this a little bit. Coronavirus is providing an opportunity for you to succeed if you don't play scared. Scared money don't make money, okay? So the truth is you haven't missed any opportunities. In real estate, you actually create your opportunities. but we have to retrain your eyes in terms of what opportunities look like. Okay. We have to be able to see the opportunities. So a lot of you have been watching HGTV. You've been getting a program to HGTV foolishness. Your first investment property won't look like anything you've seen on HGTV. It will not look like any of these. None of my properties will ever be featured on HGTV, y'all. And guess what? I don't care. When you are buying investment properties, you are not buying the property that you are going to live in. None of my properties, I would live in all of my properties. They are perfectly fine. But you are not looking for your dream home when you're buying investment properties. You have to have two different sets of eyes when you're looking for the home that you're going to ultimately live in and the ones that you're buying as investment property. Okay? You watching shows like The Property Brothers? I say screw The Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A, and I'm gonna keep it real with you about real estate. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. All right. So you got to know the name of the game. Some of y'all going in and buying a property and you're so enamored by the granite countertops. You realize that granite countertops only cost $1,200? Why would you make a $400,000 decision off a $1,200 countertop, y'all? Like, does that make sense? A stainless steel refrigerator costs $800. Why are we making a $400,000 decision off of an $800 refrigerator that you can go get at Lowe's or Home Depot tomorrow? Like, you've been taught to look at the wrong things. Okay. This is my first property in Brooklyn. This was not my dream home. I'm very clear of that. But guess what? It made my dreams possible. This was not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. It is not a traditional brownstone, but it is a 3-family. Has linen white paint all over. They just slapped linen white paint over all over everything. Okay. Look at my kitchen. Right? My kitchen has the cheapest countertops that you can buy, from Mica countertops from Home Depot or Lowe's, the cheapest cabinets you can buy. Look at my appliances, y'all. No stainless steel in my kitchen whatsoever. But I could see beyond all of that. I could see beyond all of that. Guess what? This property is appreciated by over $300,000 since 2013. Okay? Because I could see beyond all that stuff. All right? So you got to know the difference between being a single family HGTV buyer and a multifamily investor. Okay. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single family HGTV buyers buy based on emotions. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors are looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family buyers are looking for open concept. Multifamily investors are looking to open the possibilities and doors in their life. Single family buyers are looking for finished basement, one of those buzzwords. Multifamily investors are looking to start building wealth. Which side of the equation do you want to be on, y'all? Which side of the equation do you want to be on? Okay. So this is the name of the game. We have to retrain our eyes. Okay. Now, when it comes to the multifamily map, a lot of you are looking on Truly and Zillow. Truly and Zillow are where multifamily real estate deals go to die. I want to be very clear. There's a difference between a real estate listing and a real estate deal. What are we looking for, y'all? What are we looking for? Real estate listings or real estate deals? We are looking for real estate deals. And guess how you find those? You find those off market. They're called off market deals. How do you find off market deals? You find them through relationships. How many of you all got a hookup at a store? Your family, your friend, or your spouse, or somebody works there? How many got a hookup? Tell me the name of the store you got the hookup at. What's the name of the store you got the hookup at? Carter's, Bingo, Villa, Apple, Foot Locker. Perfect. So in high school, my homegirl worked at Foot Locker, so I got the Silver Tim Duncans, right? I got the Silver Tim Duncans. Before they came out, I had them first, and I got them at a discount. Why? Because I had a relationship. That's called an off-market deal, y'all. And guess what? We've been using off-market deals and relationships to buy assets, to buy expenses and liabilities. Shoes, clothes, food, things of that nature. All I'm asking you to do is use the same concept, but we want to use relationships to buy assets and income. Is this clear? Please type clear. You all know what an off-market deal is. You've just been using it to buy expenses and liabilities. We now want to use the exact same concept, but buy assets and income streams. Is that clear? Okay, cool. Because mass market listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. Okay. So I do not look for real estate deals on Trulia and Zillow or Redfin. I know that's where you've been going. That's not where I look. Okay. So I have off-market deals coming to me via text message, via Instagram, via Facebook, via email every single day. Deals that I get to see before they ever hit any of those websites. This is how I get them at a discount, meaning that I'm stepping into built-in equity. Right. One of my students said, Gabrielle said, Ronique, congratulations. Did you find this deal on Zillow? He said, nope, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler. This is a relationship-based game. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people. You have to be in contact with property. Okay? So you have to develop what I call the 4 eyes of real estate. They are eyes for the market. How do you know if a market is expanding or contracting? Okay? What are the data and the trends and the things that you look for with your eyes to know if a market is expanding or contracting? Then you have to know what the eyes for the neighborhood. What are the 33 signs of gentrification? I've identified 33 signs of gentrification, y'all. Okay? One of them is white girl running through the neighborhood in the hood at 9:30 p.m. with her Apple Watch and her ear pods in her Lululemon and not looking over her shoulder, feeling very safe. That is a sign of gentrification. I'm not trying to be racial or anything like that. That just is what it is. Another sign of gentrification. Yep, there you go, Francois. Bike lanes, Starbucks, dumpsters, multiple dumpsters on one block. Okay, these are the signs of gentrification. I've identified 33. You need to know what they are so that you know if a neighborhood is about to turn. Now, answer me this. Do you buy in a neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification, y'all? Do you want to buy in a neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? The answer is no. That means the prices are going to be at their peak. I bought in Brooklyn on Bed-Stuy when it had about 15 to 20 signs of gentrification and it was moving toward 33. Today, it has about 30 signs of gentrification. This is why my property value has increased by $300,000. Okay? No major improvements or renovations to that property. This is what it means to buy right, to have definite appreciation potential. You can only know that by the neighborhood. Okay? Then you have to have eyes for the property. See, when I go into property, I'm not looking at the same thing as everyone else. I have this workbook right here, the Multifamily Movement Real Estate Investor Workbook. And inside is hidden value and hidden costs. I have this all in my mind, but I put it out into a system to make it easy for other people to use. So these are 40 signs of hidden value that I look for when I walk into a property. And these are about 30 signs of hidden costs that I look for. Okay. This is how I've systematized this to make it easy for everyone to use. Okay. And then finally, you have to have eyes for the deal. There's typically 3 ways to structure any real estate deal. You have to know which one is best for the deal that you found. All right. Now, many of you are relying on a real estate agent in order to find properties. That is being lazy. How many of you are on a real estate agent's email list and getting listings sent to you every single day from the MLS? You don't even open the emails anymore. Type me in chat. I need to be very clear with you, y'all. I will train you to be better than your agent. You realize that real estate agents are in the business of selling single-family homes to American dreamers. Most real estate agents cannot calculate cash on cash return, and that is the most important number in multifamily real estate. Why? Because it is not on the test. It is not on the real estate licensing exam. Okay? So you have to lead your agent. Your agent is the person who executes a deal. You have to be the one who evaluates them. Your agent executes a deal. You evaluate the deal. We do not give our future, our financial future, to a real estate agent who likely does not own any assets themselves besides a single family home. Okay? Go ask your agent. I dare you. Go ask them, say, calculate the cash on cash return on this fourplex for me. They'll be like, huh? How can they find you a good deal if they don't even know how to calculate cash on cash return? Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. Greg said, I'm an agent. He's right. Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. I'm not lying. I'm giving you straight facts. Okay? So let's get into myth number 3. This one is going to change. This is going to give some of y'all a headache because it's just going to be a mind flip for some of you and you won't be able to receive it right now. Okay? And it is, I need to pay down my debt first. That's the myth. You don't have to pay down your debt first. A lot of y'all are on that, I'm going to be debt-free tip because you're watching Dave Ramsey and stuff like that. You do not need to pay down your debt first. The truth is, you need to buy an asset. that will pay down your debt first. You don't have to pay it down. I don't pay any of my debt. My assets pay all of my debt. Some of y'all, this is going to be hard to grasp because you've been engaged with a lot of bad debt. Now, watch this. Do you know that being debt-free does not mean that you are financially free? Being debt-free does not mean that you are financially free. Why? Because if all your income is still active income, meaning that you trade time for money, you are still not financially free. Financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. Whoo. Debt-free does not mean financially free, y'all. It just means no debt. You still trading time for money, so you're still not free. Come on, y'all. I hope you catching this. The reason a lot of you have a negative relationship with debt is because you have bad debt. You have single family mortgage. Bad debt is debt that you have to pay back, like a single family mortgage, credit card debt, student loans. They even had the nerve to call student loans good debt. You realize that student loans is some of the worst debt that you could have? You could not even file bankruptcy for student debt. But they branded it as good debt. Oh, you're learning. That's such a good thing. Here's the difference, y'all. That is liberal arts education, learning Shakespeare and stuff that will not be relevant to your life. What I'm trying to teach you is liberation arts education, what is actually going to free you. Some of y'all paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for some liberal arts education that you are not using today to get a 10-cent piece of paper called a college diploma. I'm trying to give you liberation arts education so that you can be free. So many of you have bad debt. There's nothing wrong with debt except having bad debt. So ultimately what you want to do is you want to have good debt. Good debt is debt that pays you. So you go get debt to buy an asset like a multifamily property, and then that asset will provide you with cash flow that pays your single family mortgage. It will provide you with tax savings that pays your student loan. And the fact that you're no longer paying rent, you use that to pay your credit card. You use good debt to pay off your bad debt. This is the name of the game, y'all, until you have no more bad debt. And now all of your good debt is just paying you. See, watch this. Money is cheap right now. If I can borrow money at 2.25% and I know how to make that money work at 15%, how much money should I borrow, y'all? If I can borrow money at 2.25%, but I know how to make that money work at 15%, how much money should I borrow, y'all? Dan gets it. Leonard gets it. Who else said that? Max. Mario gets it. You would borrow as much money as you possibly could deploy. See, some of y'all who are rushing to be debt-free, you can't grasp that yet. And that's okay. That's just where your level of wealth consciousness is. One day you will get it. Okay? I'm not just teaching you real estate on this webinar. I'm teaching you wealth consciousness. These are wealth principles that will literally transform your life. Okay? So, how many of you got student loan debt? I'm going to close with that. Okay? I'm about to change all of your lives. I'm literally about to save you the amount of money, however much your student loan debt is, I'm about to save you that amount of money. Watch this. Some of y'all are on that Dave Ramsey plan. And let's say you have $40,000 in student debt and you're on the Dave Ramsey plan. You want to be debt-free, you're rushing. I'm going to pay off my student loans as fast as possible because I hate Sally Mae. Okay? So you say over the next 2 years, I'm going to rush to pay off this student debt, $20,000 a year. I'm going to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and top ramen, and I'm going to sleep on somebody's floor. Okay? So I can pay this debt off. Cool. You think you're being good. 2 years come by, you pay off the debt, right? And now you want to buy a multifamily property, right? And you have no more money because you gave it all to Sally Mae, right? And so now you have to save up in order to get the down payment for the multifamily. So it takes you about 4 years to buy a property. Watch this, y'all. The other person came to this webinar, also had $40,000 in student debt, came to this webinar and said, I'm buying multifamily property, $300,000. Watch this, y'all. When the person who was rushing to pay off their debt wants to buy that same property 4 years later, how much is the property going to cost them? It's going to cost them $340,000. Why? Because the property appreciated by 3% every single year. So listen to me very carefully. Person A rushed to pay off $40,000 in student debt by eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches and top ramen and sleeping on somebody's floor. And because they didn't buy a property right away, like person B, now they rush to pay off that debt, but they get it handed right back to them in the form of additional mortgage 4 years later. They paid the $40,000 in student debt twice. I'm gonna see if y'all caught that. They paid the first $40,000 by themselves by trading time for money and lowering their expenses. But because they didn't buy the asset, they bought the same asset $40,000 more expensive. They got the $40,000 student debt handed right back to them 4 years later. They paid twice, y'all. If they would have just gotten an asset, a multifamily property, they could have used a cash flow from that property to pay off the student debt while also building $40,000 in equity on top of that. I just saved all of y'all who have student debt a lot of money off of one piece of information. Okay? So, the four benefits of multifamily real estate. The four benefits of multifamily real estate: cash flow, tax savings, principal pay down, and appreciation. The same property I've been showing you throughout the webinar, this is what it's going to do for me and my family over the next 30 years. Cash flow from this property after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, the cash flow, the real cash flow, will be $638,000. The tax savings will be $278,000 because I get to depreciate this entire asset and every expense related to it. The principal pay down by the tenants will be $225,000. And then if this property appreciates by 1% every single year for the next 30 years, which is very conservative, it would be worth an additional $104,000. When you add all of that up, this one single property is going to lead to a $1.2 million shift in generational wealth for me and my family. And I have 10 of them at this moment in time. And I have more properties who are more valuable than this. One single property worth $1.2 million. Oh, on top of that, guess what, y'all? And I still have the property. On top of that, and I still have the property. This is what I'm trying to show you. If you would just buy right. If you would buy right, okay? So this is the $1 million question. What are you going to do today to make sure that you are never economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? Some of y'all have been exposed by coronavirus. You realize that you had a good job, a good income, but you had no assets. You had no assets that pay you in case the entire economy shuts down, right? My portfolio has been just fine. Why? Because 1/3 of my portfolio is Section 8, meaning that regardless if the economy goes up or down, I'm still getting paid. And guess what? You want to know how much of those, all my mortgages that those Section 8 tenants cover? They cover 85% of all 10 of those mortgages. So even if none of my market rate tenants could pay because we are facing Armageddon, then guess what? I'm still doing all right. My properties are still paid for, y'all. This is how you protect your portfolio. You diversify, okay? You diversify your tenant pool and how you actually get income. All right? Oh my goodness. So everybody's talking about securing the bag. You do that by securing a building. And then that will secure your housing, it will secure your retirement, and it will secure your legacy. So with that in chat, please let me know, what was your number one takeaway? What was your number one takeaway from the webinar? What was your number one takeaway? Let me know in chat. Get pre-approved, NACA, single family mistake, buy multifamily first, never say can't. I don't own my house. I'm wasting time. It's still a possibility. Financial literacy is king. Get pre-approved, make that move. Section 8, numbers are everything. Multifamily to pay for single family. Stop making excuses. Good, 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 good. Cool. So earlier you all gave me permission to share an opportunity with you for those of you who are serious and committed to making this happen in your life and accelerating your process. I'm going to do that right now. If you're not interested, it's all good. I hope this webinar blessed you. I wish you the best. I've given you enough to chew on and to go take action on. But if you want to make sure that you don't make mistakes on this journey, you want to make sure that you're able to get there as fast as possible, then I would love to share this opportunity with you to consider. All right. So obviously you're still here because you want generational wealth, passive income, more freedom. And I know because that was me too, right? Now, there's many different ways to make money in real estate. There's mobile homes, tax liens, wholesaling, vacation rentals, commercial properties, etc., fixing and flipping. Where my deep expertise is and where I can do a deep dive with you is in multifamily real estate. I think I've demonstrated that here on this webinar, and this is where I can show you how to get your first property. But in chat, I need you to type a different word than property. I need you to type portfolio. Can everybody in chat type portfolio? What I'm about to share with you will help you get your first property, but ultimately I need you to erase the idea of having one property out of your head. And I want you to start thinking about getting an entire portfolio. Okay. The first property can get you to rent and mortgage freedom, but it's going to take us several properties to get you to full freedom. Okay. We're going to need an entire portfolio. So for those of you who came in late, this is my actual portfolio. These are the properties that I control at this moment in time. They are in Brooklyn, Oakland, and New Orleans. Okay. And today they are 30 apartments with 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 in monthly rents, and $4.1 million in value. Now, I want to be very transparent with you. I do not keep all $36,000 that I collected today. Okay. I do not keep all of that. I keep about 40% of it as cash flow. The rest of it goes to principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. So a lot of people just share with you their top line numbers. I'm saying, no, I want you to know exactly the truth. I want to manage your expectations, right? Again, this is not get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over time. Is that clear, y'all? I'm not here to mislead you. I'm trying to give you the truth because I know that the truth will set you free. All right. But when you start stacking up properties, then that number comes out very good. And then once these mortgages are paid off, like I said, my daughter, she'll have $25,000 per month in positive cash flow for the rest of her life based off this portfolio right here alone, even if I stop today. Okay. So for those of you who need to verify whether these properties are actually mine, you can go to nolaassessor.com, nolaassessor.com, search for Julian Newton Gordon or Purpose Properties, and you will see my properties in New Orleans. If you need verification, I want you to all be great researchers. I want you to be able to do your own due diligence, not only on real estate, but on this program, on me. Okay. And so again, that's nolaassessor.com. If you need to go verify that I control these properties, but I do, I have all the keys to them. I collected rent from all these properties today. Okay. So what I want to invite you to be part of is a program I created for you called the Multifamily Masterplan, where I will walk you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more over a 12-week period to make sure that you buy multifamily property the right way. Okay. Meaning built-in equity, definite appreciation potential, and at least 12% cash on cash return, and or that gives you rent freedom. Okay. For those of you who are renters, and or positive cash flow for those of you who have single family homes already and need to pay a mortgage, student loans, credit card debt, or medical bills. Okay. You want to acquire a property to pay off. One property will pay your mortgage. One property will pay your car note and your cell phone bills. Another property will pay for your grocery bills. So this is how you move towards freedom, one property at a time as you build your portfolio. Okay. So the way this program is structured, it has 5 modules: finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. And I'll walk you through those really quickly right now. In the finance it module, I'm going to show you no to low money down payment programs that you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios to be aware of. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and save tens of thousands of dollars. Literally a 0.25% shift in your interest rate will save you over $14,000 on a mortgage. Okay. FHA loans debunked, the dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being 3.5% down. Why you must shop for lenders first and not the home, and how to get the lowest interest rate possible, and why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense. All right. So these are 2 of my students. This is what Sandy said. I now have 3 pre-approval letters, one for 500, one for 415, and then VA for 700. For the newbies in the group, do not skip steps. I will leverage these to get the best rate, but of course the VA loan is my first choice. Sandrika said, a couple of lenders tried to okey doke on me, specifically with leaving out prepaid costs, offering more money and lowering the rate, but doubling other fees. See, a lot of y'all think that the lender with the lowest interest rate is the one to go with. No, they will hide hidden fees into the other aspects of the loan disclosure. And that's how you get fooled and duped, right? So I train you on how to actually know what the lenders are doing and actually how to find the best deal and get your interest rate as low as possible, all right? In the next module, find it. And again, these lenders will smile in your face and pretend like they're your friend. but you are putting food on their table. They're not putting food on yours. You are in control. You have to be in the power seat, but you have to understand how they operate and all their terminology to be able to negotiate. Okay. Then in the Find It module, I'll show you how to find great deals in your backyard. Literally, my first deal was in my backyard. I was renting on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York, and the property that I bought literally shares a backyard with the property that I was renting from. I just didn't know how to look at real estate until I learned how to see real estate. I was starting to see opportunities around me in Brooklyn. I almost missed the wave, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Then the 33 signs of gentrification that I talked about earlier, I'm going to teach you all of those to ensure that you buy right before prices peak and you end up overpaying for property. How to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know to find and do due diligence. Again, this is not Trulia, Zillow, or Redfin. Okay, these are other websites that are key to your research and due diligence process. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Remember, your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay, why the asking price doesn't matter, the real metrics in that make a deal worth it or not, and the people and tools that you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. Okay. Then in the finalize it, I'll teach you the 23 numbers that you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a real estate opportunity. That financial model that I showed you earlier, I'll walk you through that in all the 23 numbers. How to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The four most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal. How to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without the seller worrying about the seller walking away. And the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. All right. I showed you this earlier. This is the financial model. You get access to all of that as part of the program. I know some of you were asking for it earlier, or will you share that with us? No, this is proprietary, and I only share it with my students. Okay. Then fix it. The 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in on a speed dial once the deal is in motion. You do not wait until after the deal you've signed a contract to find your contractors, right? You need them in advance, and I'll explain to you why. How to vet your team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, and the questions to ask and things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb. Everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. All right. This is not your inspection process is one of your greatest points of leverage. It is one of your greatest points of leverage. And so you need to know how to use that. I've had a student get the price down by $35,000 because of the inspection. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it does not move in. And then fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait until later until the house starts cash flowing. All right. And then finally, the fill it module. Your landlord now, how to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there, how to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need and who you need and where to post, free download of my sample lease agreement, and long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without being there in the top 20 markets to invest in. So all of that is in the program. It is full of everything that you need to make sure that you succeed in acquiring your first property. And then from there, we build your portfolio. Now, for those of you who are single family buyers, I have a module specifically for you in the special situation section. It says single family homeowner, 6 ways to escape if you did, and 5 ways to use FHA twice. So that 6-5 that I had you type in earlier, this was referring to remind me to talk to you about this module right here. Okay. This module will show you your options to reverse yourself out of that situation and get on the path from just being a single family buyer to actually becoming a real estate investor. All right. So now I want to take a moment to walk you through some success stories. I have tons of success stories. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just want you to show that this system that I've created works for anyone. Okay, it works for anyone. The only person that I cannot help is someone who is not willing to make it happen, not willing to show up and do the work, and someone who wants to stay in victim consciousness. All right. Also, if you are on disability and your disability does not provide you with enough to actually afford real estate in your market, I will not be able to support you because we will need to make sure that you have consistent income in order to get you financed. Besides those 2 people, I can help anyone succeed over a period of time. Okay. So I just want to share with you some of those stories. This is the Roll family. They have a 4-plex in Los Angeles. They said Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now that we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. Kim, I see your question. Wanda, I see your question. I'm going to answer questions in just a second. Okay. So go hold those questions, copy them, and make sure that you don't forget them. This is this is the Campbell family. They said my issue is that I had a rental property. I wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it up to a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the rental property out of my name into an LLC. Now that we corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, in a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units. All right. This is Dante. He closed on a duplex here in New Orleans in 34 days from joining. This is Jackie. She lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She got a triplex and a single family from a distressed seller at a very discounted price. This is Spencer. He lives in Texas, bought in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, this duplex there. The Powell family, they live in Oakland, a very expensive market. So they ended up investing in Detroit, where they bought this beautiful duplex. Again, your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. This is Jason. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. This is Robin, single mother, okay? Helped her close on this duplex here in New Orleans. Ronique, he bought this fourplex in less than 30 days in Birmingham, Alabama. He is already on his second property, which he bought for $25,000, is putting $45,000 into it with the construction loan. That property will be worth $175,000. He's literally about to step into $100,000 in equity because of what I taught him in this program, okay? Demetrius, one of our youngest students, he's 26 years old, bought this fourplex in Killeen, Texas, okay, using his VA loan. For those of you who have VA loans, this program works for you, okay? Steven is the student I talked about who got his property in New Orleans for $35,000 under asking because of what I taught him in terms of the inspection process and how to leverage that. That is one of your greatest points of leverage in the negotiation process, okay? April, she owns this fourplex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Airbnbs, the other 3 units, did well, even in the midst of COVID, $27,000 she's showing over there. Jay, she closed on a single family with $8,000 in equity. Normally, I don't have my students do single families, but she found one that was a great deal and had equity built in, and so she moved on it. Fernando, for those of you in LA, they bought this property on March 5th, and they're going to run the group home business model through this property, and they said that the numbers are crazy as a group home. Terrence also used a VA loan in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jetro went to University of Florida. He bought this fourplex in Gainesville, Florida, even though he doesn't live there. Sandra bought this duplex that she's going to do the BRRRR strategy on in Kansas City, Missouri. Nicole closed on this fourplex in Chicago, Illinois, originally priced $362,000. She got it for $340,000, $22,000 off. Devin closed on this duplex in East Orange, New Jersey. Malika did a single family BRRRR in Baton Rouge. Alan, I'll read Alan's story really quickly because this is very powerful, y'all. Alan closed on this triplex in Baltimore, and this is what he said. Hey, Julian, I just want to thank you for the great service that you provide. I learned a great deal from your detailed instruction in the past 3 months during the pandemic, and I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows in an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle the deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. The reason I want to show you Alan's story really quickly is look at this. Alan closed on the property on June 17th. He proposed to his wife on the 3rd floor of the property on August 7th, and then married her on October 17th. And look what he put. Key rings first, then engagement ring, then wedding ring. The American dream will tell you to do it the other way around, y'all. No, we get these assets first, okay? So this is why I wanted to share this powerful story, okay? Darren Aisha closed on this triplex in Providence, Rhode Island. Tyler and Olivia, they closed on this fourplex here in New Orleans. Alyssa closed on this duplex in Pensacola, Florida. Dante, fourplex in Baltimore, Maryland. Elena and Aaron, they live in Los Angeles, expensive market, so they bought a duplex in Detroit, Michigan. Agents Karen and Jamel, they closed on a fourplex in Norfolk, Virginia. Morgan closed on this fourplex in, I think, Columbia, South Carolina. Tafara closed on this duplex in Baltimore, Maryland. Cian and Matthew closed on this triplex in 5 months. Guess what? They're already on their second property. All right. So look, y'all, I know I got a lot. I just want to show you the recency of some of the dates. Like my students are closing October 20th, James closed, Javier, October 22nd, Cornelius, October 23rd, Carvella, October 22nd, Kai, the 12th, 14th, 15th, this one, November 17th, Lamont, uh, Taisha, the 20th. I've had literally 12 students close in the past 2 weeks, y'all. So this is real, and students are winning. This is Brian, he closed in New Orleans. And this is Jason, he closed on a rehab in Norfolk, Virginia. So I just wanted to show you those because I never know which story is going to resonate with you. And I know that a lot of you, based on the markets you put, are from all over. So I'm showing you that this can be done all over. I have students of all different types, and I even have more success stories here. But let's just get into it because I know some of you are curious about the numbers. All right. So normally the multifamily master plan would cost $2,499. But on this webinar, I'm going to show you how you can get access to it for free. Okay. I repeat, it is all free. I don't think y'all heard me. It is all free. Yatika says, how expensive is your course? That's the wrong question, Yatika. The question is, how expansive is the course? Expensive is when money leaves you and never comes back. Expansive is when money leaves, but then it returns with friends. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to get access to the program for free. All you have to do is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. My mission is to help 300 people or families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. Okay. Now, you're like, Julian, you just said it was free. What do you mean I have to join this movement? Here's why. I've been teaching online for the past decade, and the numbers show that only 7% of people complete online courses when left up to their own devices. How many of you have bought a book that you intended to read to change some aspect of your life and you didn't even crack it open? Type me in chat. Type me. Okay. How many of you wanted to lose weight this year, right? And still got that little that roll down there. Keep it real, right? Now, there's all kinds of free YouTube videos and free recipes on the internet that you could have accessed. So it was not a function of information. It was a function of your accountability. This was not about information. You losing weight had nothing to do with information. There's free YouTube videos and workouts and recipes, and literally they'll walk you through how to cook. It has nothing to do with information, y'all. It has to do with your accountability. See, I'm not just here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your transformation. So what you are paying me for is not the information. The information is scattered all over the internet on YouTube videos, podcasts, blog posts, books, etc. What you are paying me for in this program is the accountability and the structure to make sure that you implement the information. Okay? Information that is integrated leads to transformation, not just information alone. So once you commit to the accountability, I'll give you access to everything that I know about multifamily real estate. But until you are willing to pay for the accountability, I cannot give you access because that is not how it works. When people pay, they pay attention. Okay. So you are paying for the accountability and the structure to make sure that this happens in your life. This is why you see all of those results. Are you understanding this? Okay. So this is a movement in real life. This is 100 of us in New Orleans. This is a real movement. And one day when this COVID thing slows down, I hope to slap hands with all of you, hug all of you, and meet all of you in person. This is not some online program that you buy and you never hear or see from me again. Why? Because I'm holding you accountable. So the Multifamily Master Plan course is not so much a course. And here's why, right? Only 20% of this program will actually be on the computer, y'all. This is not some Netflix and chill, watch some videos, and then I hope a multifamily real estate deal lands in my lap. 40% of this program will be on the phone, talking to lenders, agents, wholesalers, contractors, owners, building your real estate Rolodex. Another 40% will actually be in your shoes and in your cars, actually out in the streets, touching properties. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and properties. You will not find a deal sitting behind a computer. So the way I've structured this program is every single week, you have to get up out of your seat, out of front of your computer and go do something. So you have your financial house cleaning challenge, your lender shopping challenge, your pre-approval challenge, your real estate agent challenge, your neighborhood knowledge challenge number 1, your deal a day challenge. Then you have your real estate team building challenge, your new neighborhood challenge number 2, your deal a day challenge number 2, and then you continue to do the neighborhood and deal a day challenge again and again and again until you find your deal. Okay, so you literally gonna have to get up out of your seat and go do something to make this happen. Now, let me show you the depth of the program. Here is the back end. And the way the program is structured is every week you're going to get two things. You're going to get your mindset modules, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, and then you're going to get your movement. So we change the mindset, then we go take action. We change the mindset, then we go take action. Okay. This is the program in detail. Every module will either make you money or save you money. Every single module will either make you money or save you money. When you get into the program, do not skip steps. I don't care if you bought a single family home. I don't care if you bought a duplex. I don't care if you bought two duplexes. Do not skip steps. Everything in this program is important. There is no fat whatsoever. Now, how do I hold you accountable? Every single week, we have our weekly deal room call. And on that call, you have to report to me what you did in the past week to move closer to closing on a multifamily home. You have to report to me live. Okay. Then on that call, I do hot seat coaching. So in the hot seat, you can sign up to be in the hot seat, and I will coach you on the call on Zoom just like this. But guess what? Everybody in the family is listening in. Okay. So there is no one-on-one coaching in this program. There is no one-on-one coaching, but you can get in the hot seat, and I will coach you in a group context, specifically on whatever issue or challenge that you are facing. And then at the end of that call, you must report and create an action plan for what you are going to do in the upcoming week. This is the structure and the accountability that I provide for you to make sure that you succeed. You have to show up here. There is no hiding in the background. Okay. And so on top of that, you all get the purchase or pass deal analyzer. I know some of you were asking for it earlier. This is the financial model I use to evaluate every single deal that I do. This is actually a priceless tool. Okay. And then on top of that, you get a ticket worth $599 to our wealth and real estate weekend. It's actually coming up in January on MLK weekend. On day one, I teach you all of my wealth building strategies beyond real estate. And then on day two, we do all real estate. This will actually be virtual this year, though we wanted it to be in person, and it's still going to be powerful. We're going to talk about estate planning, tax strategies, stock market investing, other types of businesses that you can start to increase your income. And then on day two, we do real estate, fix and flips, new construction. We talk about all that on day two. Okay, so that ticket is normally $599. So when you put all that together, this offer that I'm sharing with you is worth $5,497. The multifamily master plan, the multifamily weekly deal room call coaching, the purchase of past deal analyzer, and the live two-day event. Okay, the wealth, it's actually called Generational Wealth Con. All right. So I'm going to share with you the price in just a second on the investment. I just need to ask you these three questions. Would it be worth $5,497 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Would it be worth $5,497 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Forever, y'all. Not like 1 month, 2 months, forever. I have not paid a housing expense for the past 7 years of my life, y'all. How valuable is that? Okay. Would it be worth $5,479 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? If you just acquired one, the one I just showed you, how much was it going to create in generational wealth? $1.2 million. If I just help you acquire one over the next 12 months, that's $1.2 million that you know is going to go to your family's last name. Okay. Would it be worth $5,479 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer? A lot of people buy wrong. These are the people who have to sell below prices. These are people who get foreclosed on. It's not just about buying a house, it's about keeping it, y'all. Okay? So here are your options. Option number one, it feels free, but it's going to cost you the most, and that is you doing nothing. That is you continuing to join webinars and watch YouTube videos and hope that something's magically going to change. And while you do that, while you continue to do the DIY, right, rents are going to continue to rise, which make it harder for you to save, and prices are going to continue to rise, which make it harder for you to buy. The more time you wait, the more you miss out on this opportunity. And like I said, there's a window happening right now, right? Especially as the foreclosure moratorium ends at the end of the month, right? And real estate prices are going to drop. I'm trying to prepare you to take advantage of the dip in real estate so that you can ride the wave up. All right. So earlier you all asked me, I asked you, would you give up or go get the money? And I gave you a hypothetical situation. And earlier you were all typing with your Twitter fingers. You know me, Julian, I'm about that life. I'll go get it by any means necessary. I do this for my family, this on everything. You was talking a good game when I gave you a hypothetical situation, but now I'm giving you a real life situation that can change the financial trajectory of your family forever. And so the question is, are you going to give up and say, oh, I just can't? Or are you going to actually go get the money to make this happen? So for those of you who are ready, you can join the multifamily movement for only a one-time payment of $19.97. You can go to multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com, and you can join for $19.97 right now. That will save you $795 on the program. When you do the one-time payment, you get access to everything immediately. You get access to everything immediately. All I'm asking is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent and mortgage expense, because you all typed it in earlier. All I'm asking is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent and mortgage expense to put you in position to never, ever, ever have to pay rent or mortgage again, because I help you buy a multifamily home the right way. So again, that is multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. This is what Brian said. Julian, thanks to you, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to your price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University. Laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making a lender compete. It was money well spent. For any new people reading this, Julian is the truth, good people, and as a wealth of knowledge, appreciate all that you do, good brother, and the profound impact that you make on so many. So that was Brandon. And guess what? Brandon got his appraisal back. And guess what? His appraisal came in at $14,000 above his offer. He's literally about to step into $14,000 in equity because of what I taught him in this program, right? So that's an example of how quickly it can occur, all right? Now, for everybody who joins full pay, you also get access to the Fuel It module, okay? Remember I said we're gonna get your first property, but ultimately we want to build a portfolio. So when you pay in full, you're gonna get access to a module where I walk you through every single deal that I've done and tell you what was good about it, what was bad about it, how I leverage property 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6, and how I leverage 4, 5, and 6 to buy 7, 8, and 9. I'll show you how to build your entire portfolio. That module is for those who are fully committed and join at $19.97. Okay. Now, how many of you need a payment plan? How many of you need a payment plan? Okay. Understand. I know money is funny. We're in interesting times right now. And I want to make this as accessible as possible. But if you do not have $19.97, that's just first and foremost a red flag for you to have been working for so long, right? Working hard, 40 hours a week for so long, and not have $19.97 to invest in yourself on something that is going to create wealth for you and your family. All right. So we need to change that. You're not broke, but your financial system is broken. And the way we solve that is by getting your rent or mortgage expense off the books and actually putting an asset in your family's name. So for those of you who need a payment plan, you can join right now for $349 per month for the next 8 months. $349 per month for the next 8 months. This is not a subscription plan that goes on forever and I hope you forget. No, that's not how I operate. It's $349 for 8 months, and then after that it ends and you have lifetime access to the program. $349 for 8 months, then it ends and you have lifetime access to the program. When you join at $349, okay, you will get the first few modules, and then the rest of your modules will be dripped to you as your payments come in. When you join on the full pay, you get access to everything immediately. You save $795, and you also get the bonus Fuel It module when you join. But for those of you who join on $349, you need to break up your payments. That's perfectly fine, okay? But you'll get the first few modules, and then after that, your module will be dripped to you, okay? So that's the opportunities that you have. The program is designed for 12 weeks, but because of where you're at in your life, you may say, Julian, I'm on a 24-week plan. I'm on a 36-week plan. It's all up to you. When you've made your full payment, you have lifetime access to the program, all right? Now, for those of you who are on the 349 plan, I have something for you, okay? And I have something for you. If you pay the balance off in 60 days, I will still give you the Fuel It module, and you will still save $795. So what you'll do is you'll go to multifamilymovement.com. You'll start on the $349 a month plan, okay? And then you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com when you're ready to pay off the balance before 60 days, and you will still save the $795, and I will still give you the full bonus module for free, okay? So what that will look like is you pay $349 today, and before the next 30 days, you pay $1648, or you pay $349 today, $349 30 days from now, and then $12.99 before the 60th day. Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair, y'all? Okay, so that's multifamilymovement.com. How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? How much does Fortune Builders charge for what I'm teaching you? You see that? What Cray said? $30,000, $18,000. Ruth got an offer for $50,000. Gail, $50,000. Okay. Fortune Builders, I went to their hotel meeting here in New Orleans, and it was 70% people of color, and I literally saw them stealing people's down payments. They were stealing people's down payments. I don't need your down payment. I'm doing perfectly fine financially. In fact, I don't even want the $795. I want you to have that in your pocket so that you can pay for your first appraisal and pay for your first inspection. Okay. I'd rather you have that. All right. So when I went to that hotel meeting and I realized what was happening, I realized that I had to step up for my community to teach this, right, at an affordable rate so that people could succeed. This is why I have so much success rate, because I'm not taking people's down payments. I'm giving you the information that you need to actually lower your interest rate, right, to get the property at a reduced price, right, so that you can build this generational wealth for your family. And I'm not charging you an arm and a leg in order to do it. On top of that, you all get a free buddy pass. You all get a free buddy pass. You get to bring someone into the program with you for absolutely free. This is a best friend, meaning your spouse or your homie get to join with you, blood, siblings, parents, or kids, or a business partner who you're going to invest with. Now, why would I do this? Because I know that you will be more successful when you have somebody who is near you who is also committed to this goal. Remember, all I care about is you closing. I don't care about how many students I have in the program. All I care about is how many students I have that close. This is why you see my success stories. Okay. So I know if you have somebody who says, hey, let's do module 3 tonight. Let's go look at these 5 properties this weekend. You will be more likely to succeed. And that's all I care about. It's not just a transfer of information, y'all. Some of y'all been watching real estate videos for years now and still haven't taken action. It's about this structure and this accountability that I'm setting up for you to succeed. Okay. So this is Velveeta and Velvet. They went through the program together. And where's Velveeta's story? Velveeta, where is she? Actually, oh, nope, I didn't put her story up here yet. She just closed in Los Angeles. Velveeta just closed in Los Angeles, and so I'll probably send that out via email to you. So Velveeta just closed in Los Angeles with her sister right by her side. Then we have Victor and Michelle Dorner, their husband and wife, and they're going through the program together and they're getting aligned financially. One of the major reasons people divorce is because they're not aligned financially. So I want you to bring your significant other on this journey with you. Okay. So for everybody who joins this evening, you all get an extra ticket for your buddy to the Generational Wealth Conference. That ticket is worth $599. If you join, as my way of saying thank you for trusting me and taking advantage of this opportunity, I'll give you an extra ticket to the Generational Wealth Conference for your buddy. Okay? Your buddy gets to join the program with you for free, but the event ticket is $599, and I will give you an extra ticket for those of you who join this evening. Okay? So who should join and who shouldn't join? All right? Who should join and who shouldn't join? You should join this movement if you are a renter who has paid over $50,000 in rent living on your own. You should join if you are a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor. And you should join if you're willing to make the sacrifices today for success in the future. But please do not join if you're looking to get rich quick and need money yesterday. This program is not for you. Please do not sign up. Okay? Please do not join if you're unwilling to change what you're doing now to save money. There will have to be some behavioral change and to take time to search for real estate. And then please do not join if you are unemployed and have no intention of getting employed again. If you're like, oh, I'm liking this unemployed thing, I get paid more on unemployment than I did when I was actually working. If you are okay with that, then this program will not be for you because your mindset is not ready to move towards wealth consciousness. All right. So let me share with you the value of this program. Okay. At 1997, first and foremost, you no longer paying rent or mortgage for just 1 year at $1,200 a month. That's $14,000 saved right there. Okay. And then if you buy a $300,000 property and it appreciates by 3% in year one, which is the average, that's another $9,000 on year one. And then the tax deductions from that $300,000 property, because you get to depreciate it over 27.5 years, the tax savings that you're going to have in year one will be at least $2,727. And then if we boost your credit score, which we'll do in the program, right, and you save 0.25% on your interest rate, that's an additional $14,000 in saving on the property. And so together, everything in year one would be a $41,000 savings for you because of this program. And all I'm asking for is 1997. This is the name of the game, y'all. You have to understand the difference between expensive and expansive. If I look at your bank statement right now, a lot of your money has been going to things that are expensive, things that are costing you, right? Money that leaves and you never see it again. I'm giving you opportunity to invest in something that's going to be expansive for you and your family and your wealth. All right. So with that, there are some there's some bonuses. For those of you who have credit issues, I'm going to give you Tanya Arapley's credit etiquette course. I've licensed it from her, and it will teach you how to build up your credit by 50 to 150 points when you go through her program. So that will help you get one, lower your interest rate, save more money, right? And build your credit up. Again, if you decrease your interest by 0.25% on a $300,000 mortgage, that's going to save you $14,000. Okay. You're also going to get the REI tax secrets on how to reduce your taxes. You do not need an LLC to invest in multifamily real estate. Okay. But you do need to do all your accounting properly so that you can maximize all the tax deductions that multifamily real estate offers, right? That one property I showed you is going to save my family $278,000 in taxes over the next 30 years, $250,000 in taxes because of one property, okay? And again, I have 10 of them. You're also going to get my overnight success Airbnb course. I built a 6-figure Airbnb business. I'm going to show you how to do that if you decide to use the Airbnb business model for your multifamily property, right? Or the single family home that you move out of if you decide to invest in multifamily real estate. And then bonus number 4 is you're going to get the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer online. I've invested over 5 figures into an online technology where you can evaluate all your deals in one single place. So that spreadsheet that you saw earlier, I put it into a technology. And what's powerful about it, this is a space where we can all share deals in our markets with each other. This is Camille. She said, shout out to Daffy for sending me a sweet deal in our market this morning and helping me run the numbers on it. There is truly strength in numbers. So we literally share deals with one another through the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer. So when you add in all the bonuses, everything that I'm offering you is worth $8,086. Again, programs like Fortune Builder are $30,000 plus, okay? All I'm asking you for is the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put you in position to never, ever, ever have to pay rent or mortgage again. On top of that, I'm giving you a 2-year coach until you close guarantee, okay? So you're gonna get to 2 years of accountability and coaching support from me. That means our weekly deal room calls. You will have 100 weekly deal room calls, all right? I only take off 2 weeks for holidays, but it's 50 weeks a year. I show up every Sunday to make sure that you show up. I'm like your personal trainer. Whether you show up or not, I'm showing up for you. Sometimes I'll show up for you more than you show up for yourself. I can't want it more than you, okay? You have to want it more than I want it for you. But I will show up for you for 2 years. The reason I made it 2 years because I asked myself, what is the worst situation that somebody could come to me at in terms of wanting to buy real estate but not being ready? And it was bankruptcy. There's a particular bankruptcy that you can, it'll take you 2 years to come off of, but the moment that comes off, I can help you get to the finish line. And so that's why I made the program 2 years. Most programs like this, you get 3 months of support, and after that, it's good luck to you. I'm giving you 2 years. That's how committed I am. Ultimately, I'm going to help 10,000 people close on multifamily real estate. Right now, my target is the first 300. All right. So I would love for you to be in that 300. And again, this is everything that you get. You say you don't know where to start. I'm giving you the multifamily master plan, point A to Z curriculum to make sure that you succeed and don't miss any steps along the way. You feel alone on this journey. I'm giving you a buddy pass. You're also going to get access to our Facebook group and our weekly deal room calls. You're not that good at math. You don't have to be, because the purchase to pass deal analyzer has all the math baked into it. All you have to do is know where to find the 23 numbers. You need help with your money beyond real estate. That's what the wealth and real estate weekend is for. Where I'm going to show you all of my wealth building strategies beyond just multifamily real estate. You already bought a home. That's all right. I'm going to show you the Fuel It module, where I'll show you how to scale your portfolio, even if you have started off with a single family home. Do I need an LLC? No, but you do need to know how to set up your accounting to take advantage of all of the tax benefits that multifamily real estate has to offer. And then prices are too high where I'm at. That's okay. We can use the Airbnb business model in order to get you to the proper place in terms of your revenues. And then finally, if your credit is not where you want it to be, I'm giving you literally licensed Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course to help you boost your credit score. So again, all of that is at multifamilymasterplan.com. Together, everything will be worth $8,086. But again, you can start for $349 per month today, or you can do the one pay of $1997 and get access to the bonus module. Okay. So this is everything that I'm offering you. $1997 today. Literally, you're only one deal away. This was my first property in 2013. I had no clue that I'd be where I am now. If I knew what I knew now in 2013, my real estate portfolio would be double the size of what it is right now. It would literally be double the size. And so when you look at how this works and how wealth building works, you get that first property, it leads to the second, the third, etc. This is how you build wealth over time. This has been my exact process right here. It's the domino effect. We have to buy that first property right. So for those of you who are on the other page right now and are ready to start, you're going to get onboarded. You're going to get your deal analyzer. You're going to start the online course, go through orientation. Our weekly deal room call is on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then you'll do your first challenge on Monday. Okay. For those of you who have joined and you're in the background right now, the temporary password, you'll go to thefreedomschool.com. Your temporary password will be freedom, FREEDOM, all lowercase. So for those of you who are on over there and purchased already, your temporary password will be the word freedom. It'll be your email address, and the password will be freedom. Now, I saw some people asking, when does this offer end? Right now, the price is $349 per month for 8 months, or $1997 one pay. After that, it will jump up to $3,997. You have until Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to join. Again, you have until Friday midnight Eastern Standard Time to join. Okay, so you have 72 hours to go move money from your PayPal, your Cash App, whatever you need to do. Right? You need to talk to somebody, whatever you need to do. You have 72 hours to go do that to make it happen. All right, cool. So for those of you who are here, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be able to, I'll know the webinar technology will let me know who is here. And I will send this out to you tomorrow. It is the beginner's guide to multifamily real estate investing. All my frequently asked questions there. In the appendix, you will find the down payment assistance program organized by state that you can use to save money on your down payment. All right. So with that, I would love to take questions. I know I promised you that earlier. And so the way to ask questions is you'll use the Q&A function here in the webinar technology. Look for the Q&A button, click that, and I'm going to answer questions in order. All right. So thank you so much. I want to answer your question. Any questions that the presentation did not cover, let's get into it now. I know we are, we've been on here for 2 hours, y'all. We've been going in, and I want to answer as many questions as I possibly can. I want you to make informed decisions about real estate. I also want you to make informed decisions about this program. Okay. So again, thank you all. I see a lot of thanks in the chat. I appreciate you for being here. You showed up. You didn't have to. You could be watching some series on Netflix, but you're here. I'm over here losing my voice because I was in it tonight, y'all. I was speaking fast. I wanted to get as much across because there are some people here that I may never see again. And that saddens me because I know how this game can be. But for those of you who want my support and want to be led, I'm happy to lead you. I'm the #1 conductor on the above ground railroad. I'm the #1 conductor on the above ground railroad. And I know I can help you get to rent and mortgage freedom faster, safer, and easier than you can on your own. Imagine being on the corporate plantation for 40 years. And in your last year, somebody comes to you and says, hey, you know what I found out? The Mason-Dixon line is right there on the horizon by that tree. You here literally slaving for 40 years, and you just find out that the Mason-Dixon line is a lot closer than you thought. Same thing for rent and mortgage freedom. Some of you are literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. I'm gonna repeat that. Some of you are literally less than 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom if you just follow the blueprint and the path that I've laid out. And for those of you who want a single family home after that, it's 15 months. You go get the single multifamily home, you live there for a year, then you go get the single family home. You didn't even know that rent and mortgage freedom was that close. If you just allow me to guide you there, I can get you there. But I need you to trust me. I need you to trust me. I need you to jump in. I need you to say, I'm ready. All right. And that's what this program is really all about. Come in, do not skip steps, follow every single instruction. Every module will either make you money or save you money. Point blank. All right. Deep breath. That felt good. I feel like I served you up a full Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, straight facts. And so now let's get it in. All right, Q&A. Use the Q&A function. I see questions coming in chat. I'm going to say this twice. Please do not put questions in chat. Use the Q&A function. Please do not put questions in chat. Use the Q&A function. I'm answering them in order in the Q&A function. All right. If you see anybody ask a question in chat, please type a message to them. Okay. First question is, Audrey, am I paying for my first home when I was working? I had a stroke. Now I'm on fixed income. My mortgage payment is $1,438. My monthly income, Social Security, is $1,482 and $551 in long-term disability. I'm about to file Chapter 7. What should I do? Audrey, I don't know. I don't have a solution for. There's a lot more questions I would have to ask you. I could coach you on something like that in our weekly Durham called Hot Seat. I don't know anything about your savings. I don't know about your market. I don't know about your living situation. I don't know about your family. There's a lot of things that I'll have to ask you to help you make an informed decision. But if you cannot make that mortgage payment, you should try to sell the property and move on. That's an example of well, she had a stroke, and so first and foremost, we wish you perfect health and full recovery, and we hope that you can get back to work, because being able to live off of 1482 is going to be hard. Okay, I have student loans that I'm paying. How does that affect my pre-approval? Good question, Kia. Your student loans, they will take about 1% of your student loan payment. So if you have $100,000 in student loans, they will add $1,000 to your DTI. Your DTI is your debt over income ratio. Debt is debt to income ratio, but it's calculated by your debt, your monthly debt over your income. And you have to meet certain requirements in terms of that number in order to get financed by certain banks. So they'll add that $1,000 on top on the debt side to your debt to income ratio, and that's how it will be calculated or integrated. Okay. Next question. I'm in a single family home. How do I buy a multifamily property? Same person, Kia again. Kia, in the program, I show you the 6 strategies to reverse yourself out of that situation and the 5 ways to use FHA twice. I would encourage you to get in the hot seat so that I can coach you to figure out which way is best for you. It depends on how much equity you have, what the rents are in your market, what are your short-term and long-term goals, what is your income, what is your DTI. I see that you have student loan. So there's more questions I would have to ask you to effectively coach you on that. Is buying a condo a bad idea or a good idea? Buying a condo, Sarah, unless you're getting it at a huge discount, is a terrible idea. Please do not buy condos, y'all. The HOA fees, the assessments, not being able to sell easily. Yeah, please do not buy condos. It's just been nightmares for everybody who's had condos. Please don't. I don't know what the appeal of condos is, y'all. It's crazy. Wanda, can you email us the PowerPoint? No, Wanda, I won't email the PowerPoint, but I will send out a replay of this webinar. Is it okay? I'm gonna send out a replay so that you can share it with your buddies or whatnot. Is that cool? Cool. How can you buy right? That's what the entire program is about, Angela, is showing you how to buy right, right? Do I need an LLC? No, you do not need an LLC. Okay. A lot of people think that you can just go get an LLC and walk into a bank and say, hey, finance me for this home. That's not how it works. For FHA, VA, and NACA, you must buy in your name. You cannot buy the property in an LLC. Okay. I typically don't encourage people to get an LLC until they have at least 10 doors. Right. You can still take advantage of all the tax benefits of multifamily real estate, and it'll all pass through your Schedule E. Okay, on your tax returns. You do not need to go pay an additional fee to register a new company, pay an extra accountant for extra set of taxes. You do not need to do all that yet. Please do not complicate the process. You do not need an LLC at this moment in time, right? Uh, what if I already bought a home with the FHA loan? Again, there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. We will see which one of those exemptions actually works for you and make sure that your narrative is strong when you start approaching lenders. All right. Um, I have a 650 credit score, lost a job due to COVID, zero down payment. Can I still buy a home? Anthony, we will likely try to go through NACA, but you're going to need consistent income. If you are self-employed, if you are unemployed, you are going to need consistent income. So your first priority needs to be gainful employment. If you have savings, you can still join this program. Only if you have savings, you can still join this program. Do not put this program on credit card if you are unemployed. Okay. If you have savings, you can still join this program, learn while you have time, but you still need to be focused on gainful employment. It is almost impossible. I don't call anything impossible, but it is almost impossible to get finance without a job. Okay, what if I'm self-employed? If you are self-employed, what I encourage you to do is start paying yourself out of your business bi-weekly. Just set up an automatic payment from your business to your personal account to pay you every 2 weeks. So that could be $1,500, $2,000, whatever it is that is doable. That will show the lender that you can afford yourself or pay yourself as an employee, that your business can sustain you. Okay. That's the first step, right? The lender will accept your business tax returns, right? So do not take so much money under the table that you are showing almost no profit in your business whatsoever. That will end up hurting you in the financing process. I got financed when I was self-employed, right? So you can show your business income, but start the process of automating payments to yourself. You don't have to do payroll or anything. You just need to show that you are paying yourself consistently from your business. All right. Next question is, um, Amy, there's a lot of people charging for these programs. How do we know this one is going to be more beneficial than others? So Amy, I haven't taken any other programs. All I know is mine. I know it's worked for me, and I know I just showed you about 60 success stories. So since there's no way for me to go take all the other programs and then try to compare to mine, I just know that my program works. So that's the best answer I can really give you. Yeah, that's the best answer I can really give you because I haven't taken the other programs. Can somebody who's already in a real estate broker class benefit from this? Being a real estate broker does not cover everything that I'm teaching you in this program. If you're in a wholesaler class or anything like that, this is different. This is long-term buy and hold multifamily real estate. Okay, it's all in the real estate realm. But that's like being a shooter in basketball and saying, "Hey, I'm already learning post moves as a center. Will your shooting class help me?" Yes, my shooting class will help you. We both play basketball, but we play different positions. Okay, so Takel, this class could be beneficial to you. Um, Sheila, I'm definitely going to do this. That's why I'm still connected to this webinar. I'm retired with a stable, consistent monthly income. Great. So retired and disability does not always mean you have low income, right? So Sheila has stable, consistent income. And what we have to uncover is Sheila's income enough to buy in her market? And if it's not, guess what? We don't have to buy in her market. We can go find a smaller, less expensive secondary market for Sheila to buy in. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. So Sheila says, however, the money for the course in February, I will have the money for the course in February. So Sheila, I would do the 349 right now to lock in this price because when I get some more testimonials, when I get some more success stories, I will be increasing the price as we go into the new year. Okay, so I would lock it in now at 349. and then do 349 on, what is that, January 1st, and then on February, before February 1st hits, pay the balance off so that you can save the 795. All right. When does this offer end? You have until Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, y'all. You have Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Uh, Taraza, can I do this without ever living in the property? I'm currently living in a home that was passed down, trying to find a way to build on this end. Taraza, yes, there are strategies. The most obvious one is that you could do an investment property, which is going to require 20 to 25% down, though. Okay. So if that's not affordable in your market, we can find a smaller, less expensive market where 20 to 25% down actually makes sense. All right. But yes, it is possible if you currently live in a property. And if that house was passed down, you might not be on the mortgage, which means that it's not showing up on your credit, which gives us a lot of power. Okay. We can also leverage the equity in that property to make some moves, and I teach you how to do that. Carlos, I already have 2 duplexes. Congratulations, brother. I bought from my mother-in-law. The deal is to give her 2,000 a month because she does not want the full amount. I also pay a mortgage on my house, and I'm recently doing cash out to bring my interest rate down from 7 to 3. Oh, yes, please do that. What will be your move on borrowing money on the duplexes since I can't borrow from the bank because of the deal with my mother-in-law? That's a great question, Carlos. The fact that you were doing owner financing with your mother-in-law doesn't allow you to leverage those assets. You may ask her to, if she has consistent income, you may ask her to refi, or you can actually go in on an LLC with her and refi it together, perhaps as an LLC, and in order to leverage those assets if they're paid off in full or something. Okay. Larry, what would you say, when you said you would have way more properties than you do now, if you knew what you knew now, can you expand on that a little bit more? So Larry, I understand how to find deals faster. My real estate Rolodex is stronger. I know how to evaluate deals faster. I know what to look for in a property. And yeah, so I would, if knowing what I know now, if I would have known that in 2013, I'd probably have 100 doors by now. Okay. So I'm accelerating your process by 7 years. Uh, Sarah, how to use FHA twice. That is in the specific module I showed you earlier, Sarah. The 6 ways to reverse yourself out of a single family and the 5 ways to use FHA twice. There's 5 exemptions. You have to know the proper language and narrative to communicate to the lender. And I teach all that in the program. Luis, does this program begin next week? The program is go at your own pace, Luis. You get to go at your own pace. It is designed for 12 weeks. That's how it's structured. But you may say, I'm busy right now. I can't start until the new year. Or I need to go at 24 weeks. The program takes about 4 hours a week or 30 minutes a day. It takes about 30 minutes a day or 4 hours a week. Okay. Sheena, is pre-approval same as pre-qualified? No, Sheena, pre-approval is just sending in some basic documents and the lender saying, based on what we know now, we'll likely lend you this amount. Pre-qualified is when you're ready to go to the closing table and you went through underwriting, which is a more detailed process, more documents that you have to send in, etc. Okay, so pre-approval is like a little quick surface level thing, and then pre-qualification is like, yeah, we're legitimately ready to back this individual or loan to this individual. I depleted my savings during COVID. I have a new federal job now, but what do I do about savings? Shay, I'm going to encourage you to go through NACA.com to try to get finance, but you're going to have to build up your savings. That's okay. You depleted it, you build it back up. So you just need to manage your cost of living. Okay. I have a few homeless family members. How can I purchase soon within my city to help them get off the streets? Katrina, this is my blueprint. I don't know what your finances and credit are looking like. I'm sorry to hear that first and foremost, but this is the fastest path I know to help you buy a multifamily that can actually house other people. Darnell, do you see a lot of investing in Boston? Who is it? James closed in Rock. What is it? Roxbury or something? James close in Rocks. Where is he? I forgot what the neighborhood. Yeah, here. This is in Boston. Roxbury, or something. Can somebody tell me what that neighborhood is in Boston? Yeah, I think it's Roxbury. Yeah, I think it's Roxbury. So that's where he closed. So obviously the Northeast is can be a little bit more challenging than other markets. But I have students closing all over. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Okay. For those of you who want to use PayPal, there are links at the bottom of the page where you can use PayPal. Okay, and you click there. You can use debit or credit card with PayPal. Okay, so you click there. You click Pay with this gray button, Pay with debit or credit card, and you can do that there. Okay. All right. Next question. Um, I want a friend to watch what you presented tonight. Can you replay? Yeah, I'll send out a replay. I'll send out a replay. Um, what is the minimum credit score that we should have before attempting to get pre-approved? So Reagan, I just want you to go get it pre-approved in the next 72 hours. That's homework for everybody who's here. Okay, go get pre-approved. But in order to get pre-qualified, you're likely going to need to get it up to at least a 660 for FHA. NACA is a little bit more lenient, y'all. NACA is a little bit more lenient. Okay. Lourdes, great presentation. Should I get a pre-approval with a mortgage broker or directly with the bank? Lourdes, either one. Either one. If you know a mortgage broker already, you can go that way. Otherwise, just go to wherever you have your checking and savings accounts at. Byron, how hard will this be for an international pilot who is flying 17 days a month? Brian, excuse me. Brian, everybody needs a place to live for those 13 days that you were home. That's perfectly fine. I'm not sure what the limitation would be. If you feel like you'll be gone too much, then you'll just have to pay for a property manager, and a property manager takes anywhere from 7 to 10% of rent. Okay, 7 to 10% of rent. So they will manage it for you while you're gone. But yeah, besides that, that's the only thing that you'd have to cover. I do not manage my properties in Oakland and Brooklyn. Obviously, I don't live there, but my properties in New Orleans, my real estate Rolodex and my tenants are so great that all I do is send text messages to get things done. So Danielle has a leak in her kitchen sink. I text message Joe and Danielle on one thread. Say, Joe, can you get over Danielle's at 9 a.m.? Danielle, will you be home, etc. And boom. So I don't need a property manager in New Orleans because my systems are so strong, right? But typically a property manager takes anywhere from 7 to 10%. Sophia, can you look for a property with a high price area? Then can you look for a property in a high price area than what you were pre-approved for? No, Sophia, you cannot purchase a property that costs more than what you were pre-approved for. Diane, how do you do your first deal? Did you attend one of these groups or did you wing it? So Diane, for my first deal, I had done my own research, and I'd done my own research at that time, and I was heavy in it, and I was looking for the right deal. Originally, I didn't think I could afford in Brooklyn, but I through a relationship and through a relationship, I was able to land a deal in BK, which is a great market. That property will never leave my family's name. But I definitely didn't wing it. I definitely didn't wing it. Okay. And if I had known what I know now, I would have been able to do more than I've been able to do thus far. But I'm happy with where I'm at though. So I don't compare. My wife, me and the wife in chapter 13, the home in her name, we have 2 more years left in bankruptcy. Edward, I'm sorry to hear that. That's all right. I never perceived that as your fault. It's wealth consciousness that you didn't get taught, and that's what this program will help you do. You can come in for the long haul. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait until the bankruptcy is off in order to make moves. But you can come be part of the family and be surrounded by this good energy until you're able to buy again. Can I close and move by 223, 12 weeks from today? Yoletta, I showed you several stories of people who've done that, but I don't make any promises. I don't make any promises because I have no clue how you're going to show up. I know that the system works and the system is designed for 12 weeks, but I have no clue how you're going to show up. I have no clue what market you're in. I don't know what your credit is. I don't know what your cash flow is. I don't know what your savings is. So I can't make a promise to you that you're going to close by February 23rd, right? So yeah. Would you recommend a person who is currently unemployed to do the program? Again, if you're unemployed, please do not put this program on a credit card. Do not. Only join if you have savings. Only join if you have savings, right? And then use the time, right, to do the modules while also looking for gainful employment, right? That's it. That's the way I would want anybody who's unemployed, who's temporal. I'm gonna say temporarily unemployed. Okay. There are people who are permanently unemployed. They're just like, I'm done with this. Okay. Somebody who's temporarily unemployed, only join if you have the savings to pay for the program. Do not put this on credit card if you're unemployed. We have over 200 questions, y'all. So I'm continuing to push. I'm gonna try to do 10 more. And we'll call it a night at 9:30 my time. When you say CapEx, how do you figure and add that into your analyzing? Darnell, great question. So CapEx is what we set as the money we set aside from rents, about 10% of rents for future major expenses. So that's roof, foundation, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, because we know over 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, those things are going to break and we're going to have to replace them. So if I get $4,000 in rents, I set aside 400 of that, 10%, and I put it aside in a separate account so that when those major expenses come, I have that money there. So that's how we account for CapEx. Okay. Robin, I want my adult children to watch this so they can begin early. They have seen how my single family rentals are producing passive income. Great. Robin, I'll send out the replay tomorrow. Tereska, thank you. I appreciate the information, but I must sign off. No question there. Brian, clarification. I have to wait until my bankruptcy is more than 2 years old before I can get financed. You have to, Brian, we have to wait till the bankruptcy is off your credit so that you can get financed again. So I'm not sure of your exact timeline, but we have to wait till it's off before the lenders will lend to you. Sabrina, I'm assistant property manager, so I get it because I collect $100,000 a month from my owners. Beautiful. My question is, do I get approved? Do I get approved for my multifamily home? 2 years ago, I was approved for 100K loan for a house, only making 40K. Sabrina, I'm not sure what the question is. My question is, do I get approved for a multifamily home? Is it, how do I get approved? Sabrina, I'm not clear on the question, sister. I'm happy for you to re-ask it, but I'm not clear on the question. What credit score should I be trying to attain? It's 660 for FHA right now, but NACA is a lot more lenient. Tereska, I have a question that is more personal. How can I speak with you offline? Tereska, I don't have, now is the time to ask it. Otherwise, you're talking about personal questions, that gets in the level of coaching. And I only coach my students. All right. Zaire, hi, I'm new to this, but I want to change my situation. Lost my job and home to COVID, but I will fight for myself and family. I want freedom and really want to, how do I get there, brother? Zaire, we got to get you gainfully employed again, brother. That needs to be the #1 focus right now. Okay. Joe, I already have my primary residence. Are there programs to reduce the 20% down payment? No, Joe, there's no programs for first-time investors. There's no first-time investor programs, all right? So we got to find a smaller, less expensive market for you, brother, like I did with New Orleans. How long do I need to wait to buy between properties? There is no timeline as long as your credit, cash, and cash flow are in alignment. How can we move forward this webinar? How can we move forward this webinar registration to others? Rena, great question. Send them the replay. I'm going to send it out tomorrow. Okay. Marie, will you send the PowerPoint? I'm going to send out the replay tomorrow. William, can I pay half and when I close on my first multifamily home, pay the remainder? William, no, that is not how it works, brother. I like you being creative, but that's not how it works, brother. I'm sorry. You didn't, William, you didn't ask that for your college. You didn't ask your college, could I pay half and then pay another half when I graduate? Well, come on, brother. Pam, suppose I buy your course but I'm not ready to purchase for about the next year. What would you say to that? Pam, I'm giving you 2 years of coaching support. So that's perfectly fine. Come in and be part of the community and this wealth consciousness and learn the game so that the moment that you're ready, we can make moves. Kim, can you work with me if I'm self-employed? Yes, many people who are self-employed, Kim. Many people are self-employed. Okay, we need to make sure your business is generating consistent income and that you're paying yourself consistently, right? Ron, how good does your credit have to be to get started? Answer that one. I haven't noticed any properties in New York besides yours. Is there a reason? Yeah, Justin. New York is a very expensive market, so it's easier to buy your first property in an expensive market. But putting 20 to 25% down on $1 million property is $250,000. So that's why I chose to find a smaller, less expensive market for the bulk of my portfolio. Okay. What if you are in Section 8 and living in the building with 8 other tenants? What if you are on Section 8 living in a building with 8 other tenants? Can I look into buying that? What if you are on Section 8 and live in the building with 8 other tenants? Gina, you can always ask your current landlord if they're willing to sell, but I'm not sure if you will have the capital to execute on that deal if you are on Section 8. So Tamia, were you filing as self-employed when you applied for pre-approvals? Yes, I was, Tamia. Is there going to be another webinar? I'm going to send out the replay. Khadijah, are we receiving the pre-approval list tomorrow? Yes, I will send that out via email. Can this work overseas in the Dominican Republic? Kelba, I'm not sure how financing works in the DR. I know the mortgage process in America is very lenient in comparison to other countries, so I can't answer that question. I have not bought internationally yet. Nikisha, I'm not working in my, I'm not working. Uh, Now I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I really want to do this. How do me and my husband get started? Nikisha, only if you have savings that you're willing to invest, do I encourage you to join. If you're not working, please focus on getting gainfully employed first. Can I use my VA twice? Ron, yes, you can, brother. Yes, you can. What about maintenance repairs of the house you bought and you're renting out? Do you use property management? I answered part of that, Marie. I told you, I actually answered both. I use property manager in Oakland and Brooklyn. Do not use it in New Orleans. Set aside 10% of rents for CapEx repair reserve and then 5% for repairs. So we set about 15% of rents aside for repairs and for major fixes. Will you address condominium townhomes in the course or just multifamily? This is only for multifamily. We do not buy condominiums or townhomes. Student loans close to 100K. Will that disqualify me? I answered that earlier. They will take 1% of your student loans. They'll take 0.5 to 1% of your student loans and add that to your DTI. It all depends on your income and if your income can support a mortgage and your student loan debt. Should I continue to pursue a real estate license? Eden, if you want to sell real estate, then yes, but you do not need that to be a real estate investor. How to bring asking price down? Please give me some clues. Julie, that is all in the course. Primarily, we leverage, there's a couple things that we leverage in the purchase after we've gotten the contract, okay? There's a couple things that we leverage to do that. Last 3 questions. Please give your thoughts on Baltimore if you can. George, I do not know every market. I've heard great things about Baltimore. I've had 4 students close in Baltimore. I only know the markets that I'm in. In the program, I teach you how to evaluate, understand, and learn your market. It's impossible for anyone to know every single market in the country. So I've not invested or explored Baltimore. Okay. And then my credit is the biggest issue. That's why you get Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course to help you build that. And if you have to, you can pay for credit repair. And then Megan, I thought you needed to have 5 units in order for income in order for income or property of the property be considered. That is not true, Megan. Sorry somebody told you that. That is not true. I hope that hasn't held you back. And last question from Jay. So if we weren't setting up an LLC, do you show us how to set up our finances so you can combine it with our income? Yes, Jay. I show you all of that in the REI Tax Secrets module. Okay. So again, there are over 200 questions, actually 220 total. I see you, Ashley, Lewis, Ron, Greg, Lourdes, Jamina, Angela, Darlene. Oh my good, there's just, it's impossible. We would be here for another probably 2 hours if I continue to answer questions. I hope you have enough information to move forward on this decision. Again, I believe that I'm the number one conductor on the above ground railroad to help you get to rent and mortgage freedom. It has been an absolute pleasure and joy. I've enjoyed this time with you tonight. Whether you join or not, I hope you were blessed by it. And I hope that at some point you own multifamily real estate, just for those who want to accelerate their process and make sure that they do it without making mistakes and learn from somebody who's done it for themselves and others. I would love to guide you. So with that, thank you so much. You will get your list of down payment assistance programs sent out via email tomorrow. So keep your eyes out on your email. And I will send out a replay of this in case you want to share it with a buddy to get somebody else on board with you. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I wish you a great, great night. Go get some rest. And I hope to talk to you on Sunday on our weekly deal room call. All right. If you do join, again, that's multifamilymovement.com. Multifamilymovement.com. Your temporary password will be the word freedom. Okay. You'll get an email from support@thefreedomschool.com with all your login details, complete orientation, and be ready for Sunday's weekly deal room call, 8 p.m. Sunday, Eastern time on Sunday. All right. Much love, y'all. Peace.